Fox's Gernal Scott. Investment fraud tops the list of cyber crimes, with 30 to 49-year-olds taken in most by those. Tech support scams, which were third on the list, most often targeting the elderly. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They had been shot in the chest. Cloudy and 50 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. All clear on the radar. Low of 41 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. A Honda Civic into a home. A person killed and then arrested in Hendricks County. John Herrick explains it all.
It was just before 5 o'clock Tuesday afternoon that police were told that someone drove a Honda Civic into a house.
The homeowners and residents that were inside the house at the time of the crash luckily were not injured as a result of that crash.
Captain Amanda Goings with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office says they found a man from Indianapolis who had been driving the Civic, and he was shot in the torso, and he did not survive. Then early Wednesday morning, Goings says they believe they found the person responsible, a 15-year-old boy who was arrested and charged with murder and dangerous possession of a firearm. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indy police have a man in custody after a standoff ended this afternoon on the west side. Officers responded to the home off Belmont Avenue around 7 in the morning for a disturbance between a man and woman. The woman ran out of the home while the man shot himself inside. IMPD says it was 1:30 when they had him in custody. Time's running out in the state house as lawmakers in both chambers have to find compromises on bills they would like to pass. Kurt Darling reports.
One of them is a bill defining anti-Semitism on college campuses. There are two versions of it at the moment as the Senate passed its version Tuesday.
When October 7th happened, that is abhorrent and should never happen.
State Senator Aaron Freeman on the violence between Israel and Hamas. The Senate version scales back the definition of anti-Semitism, which has Jewish supporters upset. It was one of 19 bills that the Senate passed Tuesday, but many of them are going to conference committees, so both chambers can agree on one version. The deadline is Friday. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Over 1,500 people died from drug overdoses in Indiana last year. That's why Overdose Lifeline founder Justin Phillips says March 6th is known as Black Balloon Day.
It is nationally recognized as a day to just remember all the lives that have been lost to a preventable cause of death, overdose from substances.
Overdose Lifeline is credited with helping to pass an Indiana law which makes the opiate-reversing drug Narcan available to the public. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Map Air.
Good afternoon, Harrison. Looking to westbound at 70 on the east side. That is a crash blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to Shadeland Avenue. And we do have that slowdown on the south side, northbound 37 from Epler Avenue to 465. Traffic sponsored by Discover. Discover wants everyone to feel special with live 24/7 customer service. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For today, gloomy skies remain in place. High temperatures in the mid-50s tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. Our low temperatures dropping to around 40 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
My name is Nigel. Jason Hanna right over there. As predicted, no surprises here. Donald Trump absolutely dominating Super Tuesday last night. And Nikki Haley, his opponent, has officially dropped out, which I don't know why she's dropping out. She did win Vermont.
That's true.
I mean, come on. It wasn't a complete sweep for Trump last night. He lost Vermont.
So if you are doing like betting, if you're into sports betting like I am, and the line was over under 0.5 wins for Nikki Haley, and you hit the over, cash that ticket, baby. She won Vermont.
And D.C., so you're telling me there's a chance. This would be my attitude, but no, Nikki stepped down.
This was Nikki Haley earlier today.
In all likelihood, Donald Trump will be the Republican nominee when our party convention meets in July. I congratulate him and wish him well. I wish anyone well who would be America's president. Our country is too precious to let our differences divide us. I have always been a conservative Republican and always supported the Republican nominee. But on this question, as she did on so many others, Margaret Thatcher provided some good advice when she said, quote, "Never just follow the crowd. Always make up your own mind." It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support him. And I hope he does that.
Go ahead, because I can tell you've got a look on your face that looks like you just ate some bad cheese.
I thought, so was that, did she or did she not endorse, that wasn't an endorsement of Donald Trump.
That was a wait and see. That's what that was.
Wait a damn minute. Didn't she sign? Remember there was some agreement that said that she had to endorse the eventual GOP candidate no matter who it was if she was allowed to participate in those debates?
That was what the RNC wanted.
Yeah, that's what the RNC made it. They made her sign it. Oh, you want to be part of these debates, you have to promise to endorse whoever comes out on top, even if you don't like him.
And the other thing that rubs me the wrong way about Nikki Haley, and maybe this is really petty on my behalf, the way she speaks, her cadence. Allison, I'm sorry, can we hear that Nikki Haley clip just a little bit one more time? Just kind of like the very beginning here.
In all likelihood, Donald Trump will be the Republican nominee when our party convention meets in July. I congratulate him and wish him well.
All right, stop it.
Yeah.
It sounds like
right.
Like somebody's mom giving them a speech when they were a kid. Now you know why we don't play with ourselves by the window. Like just her cadence comes off as condescending to people. So now it's all but done. He technically doesn't have the delegates yet, but there's nobody else running against him. So it's just a matter of time until Donald Trump becomes the nominee. And what I liked that Donald Trump did last night, he didn't bash Nikki Haley in his big victory speech. He took the high road. And this is what he should have done against some of the other candidates, like DeSantis and some of these other folks. Just ignore whoever else is out there and all eyes ahead on taking on Joe Biden. This is Donald Trump last night.
We're going to straighten it out. We're going to close our borders. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to get the inflation down. And we are going to make our country greater than ever before. And we're going to do it quickly. We're going to do it quickly. It's going to go fast. We have to get the criminals out. We have many, many criminals that have entered our country. We have people coming in from such bad places, and we're going to have to get them out. We have murderers that are being deposited into our country. We have drug dealers at the biggest and highest levels. They're coming into our country. And we're going to close our borders. We're going to have to deport a lot of people, a lot of bad people, because our countries can't live like this. Our cities are choking to death. Our states are dying. And frankly, our country is dying. And we're going to make America great again, greater than ever before. Thank you very much. It's been a big night. Thank you very much.
And the reason I played the ending of that speech for you guys was because if you watch MSNBC, you didn't see that. Because MSNBC, they cut away from the Donald Trump speech because Rachel Maddow was pretending to care about people who lie on the air.
And we have no choice.
Yeah, okay.
They're laughing about it.
It is. Okay. I will say that it is a decision that we revisit constantly in terms of the balance between allowing somebody to knowingly lie on your air about things they've lied about before and you can predict they are going to lie about. And so therefore it's irresponsible to allow them to do that.
Like predicting.
Like Biden in the economy?
Or maybe Rachel Maddow and the vaccine.
Now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person.
How does it feel to be in the predicting game, Rachel? Like she just said it out loud. We're predicting that he's going to lie, so we're cutting away from it so you don't get a chance to see it.
Telling all the people watching that program, they're showing their rear ends. I mean, telling them, basically saying, yes, we are biased against the man who might be our next president for a second time.
Honestly, watching the media cover Super Tuesday yesterday was more interesting than the actual primaries because we knew what would happen with the primaries. You didn't know what would happen with the media. Fox was at some diner in Texas and listened to what this woman had to say about Nikki Haley.
I wouldn't vote for a woman, and especially, Nikki Haley, I'm just going to say this. She's probably menopausal. We don't need that.
We don't need that. Okay. So while Fox had that woman on, NBC News clearly went out of their way in Texas to find like the biggest hilljack red ass they could find that's a Trump supporter in an attempt to make all Trump supporters look bad.
What do you think of Nikki Haley? Did you ever consider her?
What I got to say, you don't really want to put it on.
Let me hear it.
Well, the woman's not going to be a good president. She don't have no balls to scratch. She's just going to scratch her head. All the woman's good for in my book is having babies and taking care of the house. But that's the old thing, but I'm old school.
So you never even considered her?
No.
Yeah, there you go. They found the quote-unquote typical Trump voter.
Right. This guy encompasses all Donald Trump voters. The biggest hillbilly they could find in Texas is who NBC chose to speak with. Meanwhile, over on CNN, and again, I'm telling you, the networks were way more fascinating than the actual primaries. Jake Tapper was interviewing Nikki Haley and had a little Freudian slip.
The Colorado Supreme Court, of course, wasn't saying, their official explanation was not they didn't like Donald Trump. They said he participated in an erection. And I have to, an insurrection. And I have to say, I got up at 5 this morning to do Casey Hunt's show, and I'm exhausted.
He said that to Nikki Haley?
Yes.
He was interviewing Nikki Haley. I've only heard the clip. I haven't seen the reaction.
So this isn't the first time that this has happened.
No.
Which brings us to an all-new segment.
Oh, no, don't say it.
Great moments in accidentally saying erection history. Here is Chuck Schumer.
But make no mistake, there will be a trial, and when that trial ends, senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the erection.
Well, maybe he did. I don't know. Great moments in accidentally saying erection history.
Next?
What? Big Nige.
No. I remember when Donald Trump told protesters he used the word fight, and they impeached him and accused him of inciting an erection.
Erection?
What'd I say? Did I say erection?
You said erection. Maybe he did incite that for some people. Great moments and accidentally saying erection history.
Forgot all about that somehow.
Mike Pence used to sit in this chair. Matt Bear.
All right, fellas, looking at westbound 70 on the east side before Emerson Avenue. That's a crash blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic to Shadeland Avenue. Northbound 37 stop-and-go from Epler up to 465 because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Spread the word. You can score bonus savings on Better Sleep during Mattress Firm's Friends and Family Sale. Hurry in to save up to $700 with your extra discount, plus get a free adjustable base on select beds. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, it is 51 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. We got a big show. Big lineup coming up for you. 4:35, Can't wait for another matchup in Meltdown Madness presented by Window Nation. So get ready to vote. That is on the way. We're going to have a good time this afternoon. We got the biggest stories. We'll laugh, we'll cry, and we'll try not to say erection. 51 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Woodard Emhart, Henry, Reeves, and Wagner. Over 140 years specializing exclusively in patent, trademark, trade secret, and copyright law and litigation. On the web at uspatent.com.
This is the day of the big sale at your gift shop.
Welcome in.
So this isn't just a big day for your business. It's a big day for the network keeping it all connected. That is, if it can handle the pressure.
Next in line, please.
So is it possible to get business internet you can really count on? It is. With 99.9% network reliability from Comcast Business. It's like this neat little bow.
Do you like that gift wrap?
Really ties it all together. Reliable internet for your business. It's not just possible. It's happening. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get an $800 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today to switch to Comcast Business. Ends 5/5/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. Eco-bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Discovery, innovation, progress. It all starts right here at IU Indianapolis. We're making cutting-edge discoveries in science, technology, and healthcare. We're investing in Indiana's future with degrees that make a difference. We're partnering with local businesses to drive our city forward. And we're just getting started. See where we're going at indianapolis.iu.edu/start.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Warm weather is right around the corner, and we want you to be ready to get outside with outdoor furniture that lasts for decades with little to no maintenance. Now through Saturday, March 16th, get the lowest prices of the year on Pollywood and Berlin Gardens outdoor furniture. The biggest patio furniture sale of the season is going on now only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Sale ends Saturday.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hello, America. It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you don't have Consumer Cellular yet, now is the perfect time to switch and save. For a limited time, new customers can get wireless service for as low as $15 a month for your first year. Yep, the same exact nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for $15 a month for an entire year. What are you waiting for? Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and use code RADIO15.
See consumercellular.com/firstyear15 for promotional details.
The Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. For hunting, sporting, and personal protection gear, visit the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake kitchen and bath cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I'm Nigel. That's Hammer. What's this thing you were talking to me off the air about Reddit?
I've been enjoying Reddit a lot lately.
You're like a regular Reddit user. I've only been on that thing like 2 or 3 times.
It's kind of a throwback, man. Like
the old-timey message boards?
Yeah. And it feels like there's not a lot of censorship going on Reddit, so people can just talk about all the ridiculous things they want to without it being censored.
I feel like the message boards and the comment sections came a long time before social media.
Right.
And so I think they've kind of been replaced. But you're right, Reddit's like an old school.
So I saw this post from a user, Blossom Adorn, and the question was, what's the most bizarre encounter you've had with a stranger? So I want you to think about that. The most bizarre encounter you've ever had with a stranger. The comment section filled up pretty quickly here. So I'm going to read you some of these while you guys think about yours. This is from user Dizzy Store 760. Quote, when I was a kid, this guy in his late 30s or so passed by me and asked for directions someplace. I told him. He told me thank you. He crossed the street and I continued on my way. A few seconds later, I heard a noise and something whizzed past me. I turned around and he was shooting at me with a BB gun across the street.
Jeez. Wow.
This is from Sunday Morning Trisha. Quote, I was working a service counter in retail in 1998 and expecting my first baby. A young man, very skinny, dressed in all brown, came in and stood several feet back from my counter. And then he looked at me. I greeted him a few times. He never reacted. After several minutes, he came forward and said very quickly, you're 6 months pregnant. You're going to have a boy. The dad's not around, but that's okay because you got this. The baby's coming very soon. Early, he's going to be fine. Everything that man said was true. Just this weird changeling guy standing in there.
That's creepy.
This one may be my favorite. From Rainbow Bear. Quote, this person knocked on the cubicle door of the toilet I was using at Starbucks. I didn't reply. They knocked again. I shouted that I might be about 5 minutes. They then said, no rush, but please don't flush the toilet when you're done.
Don't flush the toilet?
Don't. So we're going to go around the horn here.
All right.
Most bizarre encounter you've had with a stranger, Allison.
Mine took place here in lovely downtown Indianapolis, right in front of Bass Bo's. My family was waiting for a table outside, and a older gentleman wandered up to us and proceeded to tell us he was a Steelers coach in a past life. And then he was showing us different counter moves he would use on other players.
Oh.
And then he attempted to sucker punch my mom in the gut.
No!
It's okay. She's a fighter.
Did anybody beat the hell out of that guy, or what happened?
So let's just say my dad had some words with him afterwards. But
wow,
yeah, we got to meet a Steelers coach
in a past life.
In a past life,
Nige.
Yeah, I was in my 20s, and like it was when I was doing nights at X103, and so I had a lot of free time during the day. So I just go watch movies by myself sometimes in the theater. I think it was I was watching The Matrix for the second time. I love The Matrix. And nobody else is in the theater. Nobody. I was the only one in the theater.
Daytime matinee.
Daytime matinee until this other dude comes walking in. I'm sitting kind of in the middle of the row. He comes down my row and sits right next to me. And I'm just kind of looking at him, and he's not saying anything, and he's eating his popcorn. And I didn't say anything, but I just got up and moved to a different row. It was the strangest thing that's ever happened to me. Besides, did you mention something about a bathroom stall in one of these things?
Yes.
I've been in 2 different public bathroom stalls where the person next to me was treating their bodies like an amusement park.
Oh.
Those are the other 2 strange encounters. I didn't get to meet the person, thankfully. I immediately pulled up my pants and jetted out of there.
Oh, man.
But,
the movie guy was weird.
Yeah, the movie guy's creepy. I don't know if he's just effing with me or maybe he was attracted. I mean, he's like my age. He was in his 20s. And he just, like I saw him walking down my row, this huge empty theater, and he sat down right next to me.
Was he doing the popcorn trick?
I didn't.
Did he
I got up.
Invite you to take a little popcorn out of the bucket?
Hey, buddy. Want some of my popcorn?
Stop. God, that's awful.
What about you?
I've had an encounter where somebody was treating their body like that before, too. Back when I was working at another radio station, we had this promotion where if you drive by a line, with your car, we'll put one of those static stickers on your window and give you a prize bag.
Sure.
Well, one guy drove by, had his pants down, and was just having a good old time.
Yeah.
But I think the weirdest moment happened just a couple years ago. This was at the Speedway gas station at the corner of Churchman and Emerson. After I just dropped my kids off at school, it's probably about 9 o'clock, beautiful sunny day, sun shining. This homeless-looking vagrant dude who's kind of just hanging out in the parking lot looks at me and goes, "Hey, man, is it morning out?" I said, "Excuse me?" "Hey, man, is it morning out?" And I just said, "Yeah, the sun's out. It's a beautiful day." "Thank God, I thought it was night." "All right, buddy, have a good day," and I walked on.
What's he going to do when the eclipse hits?
I have no idea.
Send him to the loony bin.
"Hey, man, is it morning out?" Let us know your bizarre encounters with strangers. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Jump in the chat. We got the live chat going on YouTube right now. Look for WIBC. The cameras are rolling. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
I love the strength aspect of exercising, going in there once a week for 20 minutes and getting the physical activity your body needs and craves. But I also like the fact that you and your coach can not only work together inside the gym to get stronger, but work together outside the gym and adopt the simple 9 habits you need to follow to change your health and lose weight. I've been with exercising for 6 years. I feel stronger. My clothes fit differently. I have definitely built muscle. They got 5 locations: Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now their newest in Fishers. ExerciseInc.com. Tell them Nigel sent you.
Tony Katz here, and if you know me, you know I like my bourbon, and just like you, I like a good deal. So let me tell you about Hotel Tango Bourbon. Hotel Tango is a distillery right here in Indianapolis, started by Travis Barnes, a Marine who served 3 tours in Iraq. He wanted to craft spirits with the same discipline he learned in the Marine Corps. That's what Hotel Tango does. I've tried his bourbon. It's wonderful. It's a 4-grain bourbon with a distinct mash bill. You get a little caramel and some of that aroma. You get a nice rye kick to balance it out. I'm not the only one who thinks it's good. Wine Enthusiast gave it a 94, and it won a gold at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. It's also under $40. Did I mention that? One of the 10 best bourbons under $40, according to Wine Enthusiast. Try it for yourself. Head down to wherever you buy fine spirits and try Hotel Tango for yourself. You'll be supporting local, supporting veterans, and getting yourself a great, sippable, enjoyable bourbon at a great price. Thanks to Hotel Tango for sponsoring the show. Hotel Tango, distilled with discipline. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Congresswoman Spartz will be ready for your interview soon.
It seems pretty intense in there.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Maybe I'll take some time before the interview to Google Victoria Spartz and learn a little more about her. Whoa. Have you seen this article?
One aide calling the lawmakers' workplace behavior manic?
Victoria Spartz was #1 on Legistorm's list of worst bosses based on high turnover rates.
Says she, quote, avoided firing aides and instead bullied them until they left.
And the story is based on interviews with half a dozen former staffers.
Yikes. Spartz called staff morons and idiots.
Get this. Victoria Spartz says her working style is, quote, not for everyone.
Well, it's not for me. I think I'll pass on this interview.
I'm Chuck Goodrich. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Go With Chuck Goodrich Committee.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why a car crashed into a home. Cloudy and 50 degrees downtown. All clear with a radar low of 41 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:30. A Honda Civic ran into a home near Brownsburg Tuesday. Police believe the driver was shot.
He has been preliminary identified as a 21-year-old Indianapolis man, and he appeared to have sustained a gunshot wound in his torso. Emergency life-saving efforts were rendered at the time, but the victim was pronounced dead at the scene.
Captain Amanda Goings with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office. A 15-year-old boy has been arrested in the case. He's charged with murder and dangerous possession of a firearm. Someone called state police around 4 this morning saying a man was involved in a road rage shooting on an interstate in Lake County. State police say The man was shot and he died at the scene. The original caller is the one who's now in custody while detectives investigate. Attorneys for Richard Allen filed a motion today asking the judge for an early trial. As of now, the Delphi murder suspect isn't supposed to go to trial until October, and it's not the first time his defense has asked for a faster trial. Nikki Haley suspending her campaign for president.
In this campaign, I have seen our country's greatness. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, America.
Haley did not immediately endorse former President Donald Trump. President Biden will give a State of the Union address tomorrow. House Speaker Mike Johnson tells Fox News he's not going to put much stock into whatever the president says.
Tomorrow night, he's going to try to stand up here and convince the American people that the State of the Union is strong and that we're on the right track. But everybody knows that's just simply not true. The State of the Union is in decline.
Biden has already said he believes the U.S. economy is in a better place now than it was 3 years ago. Drug overdoses are one of the leading causes of death in the United States. In Indiana, the organization Overdose Lifeline is recognizing Black Balloon Day.
It is nationally recognized as the day to just remember all the lives that have been lost to a preventable cause of death, overdose from substances.
Overdose Lifeline was started by Justin Phillips after her son passed away from a heroin overdose in 2015. Traffic and weather in 1 minute. Your time is 3:32.
A sleep divorce happens when bed partners sleep in different rooms because one of them has a snoring problem. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, but it is unfortunate, especially when there are simple, non-surgical solutions that can put snoring problems to bed for good. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent, where our exclusive focus is the nose and throat, which is exactly where your snoring problem is coming from. If 20 years ago you told me I'd be helping relationships flourish again, I'd have laughed. But in many cases, that is the case. Because helping your bed partner stop snoring so the two of you can get back to sleeping together again can do just that.
Go to adventknows.com today to schedule your appointment and learn more about our effective breathing triangle solutions. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
With traffic at 3:33, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic 21st to West Street. Eastbound 465 on the south side, a little bit slow around Man. Westbound 70 coming into Indianapolis from the east side. Stop-and-go traffic from Shadeland Avenue to Emerson Avenue. It's because of a crash blocking the right lane. Also a crash in Greenfield, State Road 9. That's McKenzie Road, State Road 9 in McKenzie. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For today, gloomy skies remain in place. High temperatures in the mid-50s tonight. Mostly cloudy skies, our low temperatures dropping to around 40 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hello, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest live in studio.
Today, Wednesday, March 6th, it is Black Balloon Day. And here to talk a little bit about that is Justin Phillips, the founder of Overdose Lifeline. Justin, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel Show. How are you?
Thank you. Good. Good afternoon.
So tell me what Black Balloon Day is before we get going here.
Yeah, Black Balloon Day is recognized nationally as a day we remember lives lost to overdose.
And this is something that has impacted you directly. Your youngest son lost his life this way, correct?
Correct. My middle child, Aaron, in 2013 at the age of 20.
So tell us a little bit about Aaron. One of the things we like to do is keep legacies alive here. You know, we've had conversations with families of police officers who have lost their loved ones or victims of horrific violence. We want to keep legacies alive here. Tell us about it.
Yeah, thank you. That's Black Balloon Day's purpose, right? Aaron was 20. Charming, very talented athletically. He was the starting quarterback of his high school football team in a sophomore year. and really a ladies' man and so empathic. Really, he knew me better than most people. He could really call me out on my stuff, but also found his way to misusing prescription pain medicine.
And this is prescription pain meds we're talking about, because when you're talking about overdoses, it could mean a number of different things.
Sure. So Aaron started there, and I don't really know sometimes chicken or egg because he was also legitimately prescribed, but he did lose his life to heroin.
And drug overdose, if you look into the numbers here, like, I don't know if this gets enough attention because, you know, guns take a lot of headlines or violence takes a lot of headlines. Drug overdose, the leading cause of accidental death in the United States, with opioid addiction driving this epidemic.
Yes.
You know, and I feel like there's two different things going on here. I think there's definitely the drug overdose aspect, Justin, but also I think people are being poisoned. I mean, especially with the somebody might think they're taking a Xanax pill and it's laced with fentanyl. You know, components of fentanyl made in China, shipped down to the cartels in Mexico, making its way through the border. So people don't necessarily think that they're going to die that night just by taking like some sort of pill or Vicodin laced with this absolute poison. And that's another component to this, right?
Right. So fentanyl is an opioid. It's a more potent opioid. It's a more sought after high for people who are interested in using substances. And the drug cartel is trying to get new customers. So they're lacing almost everything illicitly that you purchase on the street with fentanyl. It's very dangerous out there right now. And people need to be aware that whatever you purchase illicitly potentially has fentanyl.
So your organization, Overdose Lifeline, what's the purpose of that group? Is it creating awareness? Is it providing support for people who are going through the same thing that you go through? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we do all that, really. We started with filling the gaps. So we started with prevention education for youth so they could understand they may be prescribed an opioid and the potential for misuse. And we started with access to the overdose reversal drug Narcan, otherwise known as naloxone. So we passed the law in 2015, and we became one of many distribution entities in the state. So we provide naloxone free through a partnership with the governor's office to anyone who wants it off of our website. We have programs for families who are affected to help them understand better. We have programs for families who've lost, like myself. We have a recovery house for women who have babies. And we have a camp for children who are affected by the substance use disorder of a family member.
So, Justin, so your son passed away in 2014, and you're telling me this bill got passed in a year in 2015. I mean, I could imagine the grieving and that process that you went through, but it doesn't seem like you wasted any time trying to raise awareness after that happened.
No, it's true. So it's my background is injury prevention. So I used to put kids in car seats. That was my thing. And 45 days after Aaron lost his life, I learned about naloxone. And I learned that no one had told me. And I learned that the Indiana Lifeline law had just allowed first responders to carry naloxone. So I call it like the imperfect storm because I learned what needed to be done very quickly, went to work.
How do you use, I'm sorry, Hammer, how do you, if someone's ODing, how is naloxone used?
So naloxone is used in a variety of ways. The most common, easy way is intranasally, and that's the form we most often distribute. So it's a nasal spray. You open the package, you put the nozzle in a nostril and push the plunger.
We're chatting with Justin Phillips, the founder of Overdose Lifeline, here on Black Balloon Day. I want to get back into some of the things that Overdose Lifeline does and the support system. Because one of the things that Nigel and I have learned when we're speaking with some of these families that have lost loved ones is that they feel so alone at the time, but it's so important to remind them there are other people They might not have the exact same story, but they're going through the same things.
Yes. And this cause of death is very stigmatized. And we feel even doubly alone than someone who's lost a child or a loved one to another chronic disease, which is why we started our support group. It's called Lifeline for Loss. We meet once a month here in Indianapolis. And we also started a program called Peer Grief Helper. So we set people up in those early days with someone with a little more lived experience in this loss to sort of hold their hand and walk them through. People do need a community. It's the only way really we can survive is having people who understand.
Is it called Black Balloon Day? Did you come up with that? Because from what I understand, heroin is provided, is distributed sometimes in little black balloons.
Right. No, we did not.
Dumb question?
No, it's not a dumb question. It came from a mom and her daughter on the East Coast in 2015, and we just recognize it and talk about it and try to provide the virtual balloons because people got upset with us about balloon releasing, which we never did, but...
Right. There's always going to be somebody that takes something very special and finds something wrong with it. Trust us, we understand. You don't have to apologize for anything here. So if somebody's listening right now and what you're talking about really hits home, they've lost somebody they love because of one of these situations here.
Or they have a loved one that's still alive that's an addict and they don't know what to do.
Yes.
Right. How can they reach out to you? Where can they find you? And what can you guys do to help them starting immediately?
Yeah, so overdoselifeline.org has all of our resources, including at the very top of the page, a request for naloxone to be sent to you in the mail. But that's where you can find information about our family support programs, our Lifeline for Loss. You can find me, and I can speak to you directly, especially about the loss, and our support group.
How do you get your funds?
We have some grant funding from the state of Indiana. We have fundraising events. We have individual donors.
So if somebody wants to chip in some money that's listening right now, what's the easiest way?
On our website, there's a donate button and a form they can fill out. And on April 25th, they can join us at Tinker House for our breakfast fundraiser.
That is fantastic. So again, Justin Phillips, founder of Overdose Lifeline. One more time, if there's somebody out there that is going through the grieving process, or maybe they've got somebody that needs a little help, the best, quickest way to find you?
overdoselifeline.org.
Justin, thank you so much for taking the time.
God bless you.
God bless you. You're doing God's work, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I don't do anything until you've talked to Mark Dietl. He is the only real estate expert I'd trust and recommend with the sale of my home. Here's what Dan and Jen and Avon had to say. We were ready to downsize and move to a smaller dream home. There were many challenges to navigate, but luckily we had the Mark Dietl team on our side. They got our difficult-to-sell house sold at the price they needed, and they worked overtime to make what we wanted happen. They are truly the best.
And what separates Mark Dietl from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts, no required repairs. They make it easy. Contact Mark Dietl today, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Michaelis presents Password. The word is basement.
Wet. Rain.
Leaky.
Faucet.
Stinky.
Socks.
Moldy?
Underwear.
No, it's basement. Really moldy underwear.
Well, sometimes.
Ew. Basement waterproofing and French drains. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Call today. Make it Michaelis.
Come on, take your basement back. 844-FIX-INDY.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. free.
Indiana Pathways for Aging helps Hoosier Medicaid members age 60 and over get support at no additional cost to live life their way.
Mom's Parkinson's is progressing, and Pathways provides in-home support so she can be with family every day.
Pathways coordinates Medicaid and Medicare services. I'm getting help with meals, personal care, and transportation.
One day, I might choose a nursing home, but today, I have options with Pathways.
Eligible members can select a plan now. Call 87 Pathway 4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Your tax refund belongs to you, not an identity thief. Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Our U.S.-based restoration specialists are experts dedicated to helping solve your identity theft issues, and all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Don't let someone else enjoy your refund. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake kitchen and bath cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
Join WIBC this Saturday 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show live from Sullivan Hardware and Garden at 71st and Keystone. Celebrate Father Glenn's St. Patty's Party with live entertainment, Irish food and beverages. Sullivan Hardware and Garden and 93 WIBC.
Man, how awesome was Justin Phillips right there, telling her story and helping others, man.
And can I just tell you something real quick? I was getting an education from her out there because I had asked her, there's two parts to drug use. Some people get, I called it poisoned because they don't know they're taking an illicit, like an illegal Xanax pill that they shouldn't have had, but it was laced with fentanyl. She doesn't really like using the word poisoning because it separates, because her son died of his heroin overdose, right? And so the stigma might be a little bit different. Well, my son, he took something he shouldn't have, but he didn't know. This all kind of falls under one umbrella for her. So I was getting kind of an education out there from her at the elevator. So I thought that was an interesting take for that. So what is it, overdoselifeline.com?
Yes, overdoselifeline.com. And Matt, obviously, you've got your podcast where you talk about various different types of addiction. So listen, we're not just all poop jokes around here all the time. We try to help people as much as we can.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, the episode that came out today was about Narcan, which reverses an opiate overdose. So if they want to go to Supporting Sobriety on their podcast provider, they can find that. Amazing conversation, fellas. Thank you for doing that. Looking at northbound 37 stop-and-go traffic, Epler Avenue to 465. Southbound 37 is stopped. Epler down to Southport Road. We look at westbound as 70. The crash has reportedly cleared, but we are still stop-and-go from 465 to Shadeland Avenue. Crash Greenfield State Road 9 at McKenzie Road. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road on North Shadeland, online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
51 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Crank up some legal stuff. Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Two out-of-control California teens.
Out-of-control teens.
They must have been hanging outside a convenience store. No, these two teens are in trouble. They got caught breaking into and then vandalizing the new Intuit Dome. I believe that's the Clippers are going to start playing there, right?
So the Clippers are getting their own stadium separate from where the Lakers play in L.A.
So not only did they break into this thing, it's under construction, they vandalized the hell out of it, but they also videotaped it for social media. Here are people from the neighborhood and reacting along with Inglewood Mayor James E. Butts. Love a good name like Butts, right?
First name Kickin'.
They are reacting to what happened.
You're doing it for the likes, and you're going to like yourself into the jail.
You have a moment of TikTok greatness followed by a little bit of misery, and so we don't play around with these things.
You know what? If you're going to be a moron, I can't stop you. But if you put yourself on social media being a moron,
please,
then you get everything coming to you. whether you get locked up, whether you get, fired from your job, whatever the case may be.
It happened here with gangsters popping off their guns on social media. We had that happen here locally.
Right.
If you remember.
But the thing is, here, they were back out the next
Back
day.
out in jail, yeah.
They were daring, Ryan Mears to lock them up. Miss Allison, let's do a quick round of Is It Racist?
It's time to play. Is it racist?
If you're unfamiliar with the game, here to explain the rules is AOC.
Is it racist? Is something racist? Yes or no?
All right. Dateline, St. Louis. St. Louis TV news anchor Corey Stark, who's a white guy, was talking about a story in regards to black homeowners, and he used the term colored.
Can dream, but tonight, colored homeowners are sounding the alarm when it comes to undervalued home appraisals.
So, he's had to apologize. The station has had to apologize, Nige. The local NAACP of St. Louis, they've condemned the comments, but they've also said he doesn't deserve to be fired because there was no ill will. Is it racist?
Okay. So, no, it's good they didn't just reactively fire him, and the fact that the NAACP was a voice of reason here. I don't know why they even had to condemn it. Is it the C word in NAACP?
The NAACP is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. So the C stands for colored, but yet they condemn this guy's statement when he was actually doing a story that would bring attention to the black community being wronged in St. Louis. So
yeah, no, I don't think this one's racist. The guy didn't mean to use the term, and I mean, I know I'm a pasty white guy sitting here deciding what is and isn't racist, but if the NAACP, which could sometimes be, a tad extreme at times,
sure,
some of their viewpoints, they did the right thing and said, no, yeah, look, we know this guy, he doesn't have a racist bone in his
but
body.
They still condemned it, and you're so right. The C stands for colored, and NAACP.
Still not something I would say normally when describing.
Well, no, but
minority
do
community.
they get to condemn people for using something that literally is the name of their organization? Do they get to do that? I don't know. I was just looking up at the TV screen a moment ago, Nige, and guess who's getting ready to appear on a big Fox News big interview? The little girl that sang the national anthem at that Pacers game that we talked about a little bit over a week ago. This was a game that I was at.
Is she from here, or does she tour around the country doing that?
I think she tours around the country.
Okay.
Because I saw her old man's YouTube feed, and she goes from coast to coast, college games, pro games, golf events, and sometimes she can overdo the national anthem just a little bit.
She doesn't have the world's best voice, but she's very passionate about it.
Right.
She's 8 or 9 years old, for God's sake.
Right. But now she's getting all this attention. So maybe if this young 8-year-old can get a good coach, singing coach, maybe she'll have a little something here. So just a little follow-up on that story. She's fine. She's doing just fine.
The outfit was awesome. Oh, yeah, there she is right there. She's all American out.
And the game that, is going viral, that Pacers game, it was against the Raptors. So not only did we get to hear her passionate Star-Spangled Banner, we got to hear about a 10-minute version of Oh Canada, too. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, man, you got to pay attention, especially if you're within 5 years of filing for your Social Security. Get this. 96% of Americans forfeit an average of $111,000 in Social Security income, and it's because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free customized Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy.
If you've saved more than $200,000 for retirement and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. This could have huge consequences for your taxes, IRA, and 401k withdrawals, and even your Medicare premiums. Call Bill Demery today, 317-648-5120. That's 648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Hey guys, it's Rob. Did you know Universal Windows Direct does a lot more than just windows? You can get a new home at the same address with vinyl siding from Universal Windows Direct. Their exclusive Unishield Supreme siding delivers the warm, quality appearance of wood without the costly, time-consuming maintenance and repairs. But wait, Universal Windows Direct does even more. Make a great first impression and increase your home's curb appeal with a new entry door from Universal Windows Direct. Or how about this? Clogged gutters will cause major damage to your home. Foundation problems, basement flooding, and more. With Universal Windows Direct, you'll never have to worry about cleaning your gutters again with their gutter protection system. Give your home a new glow. Call today at 317-659-7574 to schedule your free in-home estimate. And for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. And tell them Rob Kendall told you to call and you'll get $250 off your project. Windows, siding, doors, gutters, and more. Universal Windows Direct, 317-659-7574.
Fellas, if you've been feeling tired and grumpy and have noticed a lack of motivation and drive, you may have low T. Low testosterone levels could cause weight gain, loss of muscle mass, and so much more. I recommend Low T Center. They make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's only $25.
And with their on-site lab, you'll get results back in about 25 minutes. Most insurance is accepted for treatment. Go to lowtcenter.com right now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble.
Yeah?
Free alignment and a free oil change?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Michelin's up to $175 off?
Right.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. What do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Michelins and save up to $175 more. See store for details.
Do gurgling pipes, a running toilet, a small leak in your basement keep you up at night? Hey, Pat Sullivan here, and I can tell you that becoming a member at Hope Plumbing will give you the comfort of knowing you have a plumber on call. For only $8 a month, you get the ease of having your own plumber on hand, a 10% discount on all plumbing services, 1 annual free mainline cleaning, 1 annual plumbing safety inspection, and all the trip charges waived. Call Hope Plumbing today and become a member to start saving big.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
The Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. For hunting, sporting, and personal protection gear, visit the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show.
Coming up in 2 minutes, why a 15-year-old has been arrested and charged with murder, why Richard Allen's attorneys are asking for an early trial again, and Purdue men's basketball, for the 2nd year in a row, has won a conference title. All that and more after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recyclers Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Attention turns to Capitol Hill. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. After big Super Tuesday wins for both President Biden and former President Trump, the president will address Congress tomorrow night.
When President Biden comes before Congress to deliver his State of the Union, Americans will hear a clear theme. America's economy is growing, inflation is slowing, and the Democratic agenda is delivering.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, as Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, endorses the former president, despite their disagreements, keeping his word.
February of 2021, shortly after the attack on the Capitol, that I would support President Trump if he were the nominee of our party, and he obviously is going to be the nominee of our party.
Republican Nikki Haley and Democratic Congressman Dean Phillips both ending their campaigns today. The former president calling President Biden the enemy. says he's destroying the country. Lawmakers are working on a new bipartisan border and foreign aid deal, this time in the House.
The Defending Borders, Defending Democracies Act would send billions in military aid to Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel, and bring back the Trump-era policy remain in Mexico for a period of time, which requires those seeking asylum to wait in Mexico for their immigration hearing. Pennsylvania Republican Brian Fitzpatrick says lawmakers are pushing leaders in both parties to put the bill on the House floor.
The alternative can't be that Ukraine fails and our border remains open. We can't allow that to happen.
If leadership doesn't act on the bill, members could try for a discharge petition, meaning if they gather a majority of signatures, that would force a vote without leadership's blessing.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on Capitol Hill. A Senate border deal stalled after some Republicans, including the former president, criticized it as not enough. Stocks finish higher, the Dow up 76 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A teenager has been arrested. Cloudy and 50 degrees downtown. Your radar's clear. You'll have low temps in the lower 40s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Someone was shot and killed in Brownsburg Tuesday.
The Hendricks County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched to the report of a type of vehicle collision.
Captain Amanda Goings with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office says they found a Honda Civic that collided with the back of a home. The driver had been shot. They died at the scene. Goings says a 15-year-old boy has been arrested. Attorneys for Richard Allen filed a motion today asking the judge for an early trial. As of now, the Delphi murder suspect is not supposed to go on trial until October. This is not the first time his defense has asked for a faster trial. A standoff that started around 7 this morning on the west side ended around 1:30 this afternoon. A man who had locked himself inside of a home on Belmont Street is now in custody. It all started with IMPD officers responding to a disturbance call. An IPS school was on lockdown during the standoff. Nobody was hurt. Illegal handguns were found at a home in Greenfield and were being used by a 17-year-old boy, says Greenfield Police Chief Brian Hartman.
There were 3 handguns located, to include one of them that already had a Glock switch attached to it with a 30-round magazine fully loaded.
He says police also found weed and psychedelic mushrooms. The boy's been arrested. Remembering Lives Lost to Drug Overdoses, an organization in Indiana that played a role in changing state law regarding Narcan, is making a tribute. Ryan Hedrick explains.
1,500 Hoosiers died last year from drug overdoses. That's why Overdose Lifeline founder Justin Phillips says March 6th is known as Black Balloon Day.
It is nationally recognized as a day to just remember all the lives that have been lost, overdosed from substances.
Overdose Lifeline is credited with helping to pass an Indiana law in 2015, which makes the opiate reversing drug Narcan available to the public. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Purdue men's basketball claimed a conference regular season title after beating Illinois by 6 points last night.
For us to hold them to 71, I didn't think that would happen. You know, look at who they've played. Look at how they've scored. They've been in the hundreds at home. They've been in the 90s.
Head coach Matt Painter, it's the second straight year Purdue's won the Big Ten regular season title. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, southbound 37 is all jammed up after 465 down to South Fort Road. And we do have the northbound delay from Epler to 465. Unusual that the southbound lanes are jammed up right now. Again, it's 465 down to South Fort Road. We are working on that. Looking at northbound 465 on the east side, stop and go traffic from Penn Pike up to 71st. Inbound 65 stop and go from 21st Street to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slows from Harding Street to Meridian, Illinois. Crash in Greenfield, State Road 9 and McKenzie Road, and a crash on the northwest sides, Georgetown Road at 71st. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Spread the word. You can score bonus savings on better sleep during Mattress Firm's Friends and Family Sale. Hurry in to save up to $700 with your extra discount, plus get a free adjustable base on select beds. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
As we make our way into Wednesday evening, will be mostly cloudy with a low temperature around the 40-degree mark. Winds out of the northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday is going to be another cloudy one, but will be rain-free with high temperature around 55. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8, meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a special guest on the hotline.
Bobby Burak is a writer at Outkick.com. One of our favorites, a must-follow on social media.
Absolutely.
Bobby, how are you?
Hey, what's up, guys? Appreciate you having me.
You got a couple of interesting things going on your Twitter feed, and I want to talk about some local stuff here in just a moment that you've kind of touched on. But let's start with Laken Riley, this horrific tragedy that takes place in Georgia. Young, vibrant college student just out for a jog, brutally murdered by an illegal immigrant. Yet you're not hearing a lot from the Biden administration. You're not hearing a lot from the political left in this country, Bobby. And it's odd because they've kind of laid the groundwork of how this stuff is supposed to work. I'm old enough to remember when everybody had to say George Floyd's name.
Yeah, Laken Riley is the political inverse of George Floyd. What I mean by that is Biden and Democrats tried to use George Floyd's death as an illustration of a bigger problem, as in systemic racism in the police force, a racial reckoning. They used George Floyd's death as proof that white supremacy plagues the nation and that they are the answer to it. Laken Riley is the exact opposite, because her death illustrates that illegal immigration and the open border are actually a real threat to us. And Joe Biden's open door policy allowed that thug, that illegal immigrant, to come in this country and beat that young 22-year-old college student to death, right? So George Floyd's death was a political opportunity for Joe Biden. Laken Riley's death is a political indictment, and they both happened during election years. Now, obviously, the media wants Biden to win, so they're going along with the same rule, which is amplify George Floyd's death and let's bury the details of Riley's.
You bring up the media here, and this is something Nigel and I have been talking about, playing sound bites here for the last week or so. It seems like the national media, at least 90% of it, that leans to the left, they're more concerned that people are hurting the feelings of these illegal border crossers than they are talking about the real issues or providing any sort of support to the Laken Riley family.
Yeah, and the media also knows that immigration is the biggest concern among American voters, right? The new Gallup poll last week said it's the primary concern among voters, not just Iowa caucus goers, not just West Virginia Republicans, the entire country. So there's a lot of reasons why I would predict today that Joe Biden does not get reelected, his cognitive ability, the way he's handled the country. But I think his immigration strategy is the primary reason why a lot of on-the-fence voters will vote elsewhere. So for the media, it's incumbent upon them to make excuses about the border, because the more people that know about what's going on, the more people are going to fear that what happened to Laken Riley could happen to their daughter or their niece or their sister or whatever.
But corporate leftist mainstream media would also have you believe that the right is, I've heard the word pouncing on the death of Laken Riley. I heard Rachel Maddow mocking people that are worried about the problem of illegal immigration and crime. That's the narrative I'm seeing.
Yeah, same here. We saw last night the MSNBC trio of Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, and Jen Psaki. What a decision to have those three lead the coverage of Super Tuesday. I couldn't believe it. I actually had to check it out. So curious. Yeah, they made a mockery of this. And, of course, Joy Reid's like, these voters are led to believe that the brown people are coming in this country to hurt them. No, they're worried about illegal immigrants coming over here, causing problems, causing harm, us paying for their shelter, which Rachel Campo stuff he exposed a couple of weeks ago. So it's really a distraction. I'm not surprised they're pulling out the race card. But I'll say, I don't know if it's going to work. I think Americans draw the line on what's going on at the border. I don't know if they're going to be spun in the way the media wants them to be spun this time around.
Big picture, Bobby, though, the Republicans have about $40 million less in the coffers than the Democrats. They're going full throttle after Donald Trump, after his huge success at Super Tuesday. What could we expect?
Yeah, I think it's a good point to factor in all of this. But I've been following the betting market for about a year and a half now.
You and me both, brother. You and me both.
Yeah, right. Because remember, in 2016 and 2020, the betting market was far more accurate than the polls and surveys. And look, there's so much momentum for Trump right now and a lot of negative momentum for Biden. Now, you bring up some of the funding and finances. My concern, if I'm Trump, is not that. It's about Democrats replacing Biden at the convention in the summer and getting a new face in there, probably Gavin Newsom, who I think would be an awful president, but it might be the right PR move that I think could halt some of Trump's momentum.
Chatting with Bobby Burack. He is a writer at Outkick.com. You have an interesting piece up on social media about Pat McAfee. Now, a lot of people love Pat McAfee here in Indy. You know, iconic Colts punter, fan favorite.
Honorary Hoosier.
Honorary Hoosier, right? And this is a guy that's made his own path, his own way in this very competitive world in media. You got to tip your hat to Pat. But not everybody, including the people at ESPN, are happy with Pat McAfee and his success. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, he's been here, since September, and there's been a lot of internal drama. There's been leaks from executives and talent about how unfair it is that McAfee has certain rules they don't like, that his reported pay is $17 million a year. But I go back to this. Why did ESPN sign Pat McAfee? Because ESPN can no longer sufficiently build stars. The days of building Dan Patrick's, Keith Olbermann's, Chris Berman's, Stuart Scott's, they're gone. The last star ESPN built was Stephen A. Smith in 2015. All the projects since then, like Bomani Jones, Mina Kimes, Dan Lepetard, they all failed. So ESPN had to go out and buy a ready-made star in Pat McAfee. And that comes with a lot of concessions, including giving him his own rules, paying him all that money, allowing him to do interviews other talent can't do. McAfee has a leverage within ESPN that very few voices do. So the people who don't like that, I think they have to look in the mirror and say, well, we're less valuable than McAfee, so we ought to either get on his level or stop complaining.
Yeah, I've seen Ryan Clark, former Steelers defensive back, recently just re-signed with ESPN. There was a little period where I wasn't sure if he was coming back or not. He did some podcast where he said if he said the same things Pat McAfee said about his bosses and how there was somebody trying to sabotage his career, he would have been let go. It seems like there's a lot of jealousy inside the doors in Bristol, Connecticut, Bobby.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, ESPN has made diversity their number one priority, like literally. Jimmy Pitaro released a memo that was leaked that said diversity is the number one priority at ESPN, not ratings or quality or finances, but diversity. Pat McAfee is doing this as a white guy, and you're seeing a lot of people not like that because at this point, most of the really powerful talents at ESPN are not white. Stephen A. Smith made a fuss about that a couple of weeks ago, saying McAfee gets away with not being as polished because he's a white guy. Obviously, that's a lie, but it builds into the frustration, right? Because ESPN has been telling people for so long that white privilege is percolating all around society. So when the ESPN sees a powerful white guy get all this money and leverage, there are people who naturally oppose it because they're told to oppose it by the same bosses that went out and hired McAfee.
Last thing here, Bobby, before we let you go. A lot of people in Indy are excited because it looks like Caitlin Clark, the iconic Iowa basketball player, will be coming to play professionally here in Indianapolis. The Indiana Fever have the #1 pick, and let's be honest, they're taking Caitlin Clark. I'm telling you, you're going to see a lot of haters at the national level on Caitlin Clark, and you're already seeing some of them. Cheryl Swoops, the iconic name of women's basketball, saying some pretty derogatory things about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, and then she backed it up by saying black people cannot be racist, so don't dare call anything she says racist. But yeah, Caitlin Clark's going to receive the same hostility that Jokic and Luka do in the NBA. I've written about this. I think it's a fascinating story and pretty pathetic. There is a growing trend of former and current black players who resent the rise of white players. Remember, the best player in the world right now is Nikola Jokic, white guy. Luka Doncic might be the second best player, white guy. Caitlin Clark is clearly the best female college athlete in the nation, white girl. So you have a historically black space seeing white people rise to top. And again, like we just talked about, when society lies to a community and tells them over and over again that white people are their enemy, that white people have all these inherent privileges, it builds resentment. So it doesn't surprise me that Cheryl Swoops, Kendrick Perkins, Gilbert Arenas, who has said some of the most blatantly racist things I've seen online, it doesn't surprise me that they are rejecting the rise of white players. I think Caitlin Clark is going to experience the same type of vitriol as she enters the WNBA, one of the most progressive professional sports leagues. So I root for her because I think she's fantastic to watch, but I believe that she is going to receive more direct racism than any of the NFL black quarterbacks we keep hearing experience racism sans any proof.
Bobby, what are you working on at Outkick, and where can we find your work?
Appreciate it. Going back to the drawing board, I've been working on that Lincoln Riley George Floyd piece. Hope everybody checks that out. It's titled "Lincoln Riley is the Story Joe Biden Can't Suppress." So I encourage everybody to check that out, and appreciate coming on with you guys as always. And we'll go from there. Also, want to give a shout out. I know Dan Dockich, my friend, loves you guys. And last time we were here, you guys mentioned doing a best-looking Outkick employee calendar.
Yes.
And I put in a submission that Dan Dockich is our best-looking employee.
Well, good luck finding the 11 others that would be behind Double D there. Bobby, we appreciate it, man. Thanks so much.
All right, stay in touch, guys.
All right, Matt Bear standing by with a look at the roads.
All right, fellas, looking at northbound 65 heading to Lebanon. We are stopped before the dogleg up to Whitestown Parkway. Northbound 465 on the northwest side, stop and go traffic from 86th Street up to 865. Westbound 465 slows around Michigan Road. Looking at what's coming into downtown, we have a crash on inbound 65 at 21st. It's blocking two left lanes, causing stop traffic back to 29th Street. Eastbound 70 also slowed to downtown from Belmont to the South Split. South side, the southbound delay cleared up on 37 northbound, still there, will be for rush hour from Eveler Avenue to 465. Traffic sponsored by Indeed.com. Make the hiring process work for you. With Indeed's end-to-end hiring solution, you can attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we got gray skies, 51 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. On the way, Meltdown Madness. But coming up next, is this anything?
Now is the perfect time for you to call the Bath Authority to get your project you've been putting off done this spring. Because the Bath Authority has an unbelievable deal going on. Call today at 317-532-5711. 317-532-5711. Schedule your free in-home estimate and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. That's right. All you got to do is call today at 317-532-5711. Schedule a free in-home estimate with the Bath Authority and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. Walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversions, and more. The Bath Authority does it all. 317-532-5711 for $1,000 off a new shower or bath plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
The invasion on our southern border is threatening every community. But Senator Mike Braun is standing up for Hoosiers and fighting Biden's border crisis. Mike Braun is a leading voice for policies that will put an end to our broken southern border. That's why Mike Braun endorsed reforms in Indiana to end sanctuary cities. Currently, local elected officials are abusing their positions and harboring illegals by declaring sanctuary city status. These leaders refusing to cooperate with ICE and border officials must be stopped. Mike Braun's endorsement of Indiana Senate Bill 181 is a step towards eliminating this lawlessness by requiring local authorities to take action against illegals in Indiana communities. Mike Braun knows we must act now to end the border crisis. Contact your Indiana state legislator at 1-800-382-9841 and thank them for supporting Senate Bill 181. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Here's another remarkable success story from QC Kinetics. This one from Chad, who hurt his knee at the gym one day, and it just kept on hurting for months.
From my high school football and wrestling days, I already had a little bit of damage in there, but this just sent it over the edge.
Chad tried traditional treatments with no improvement when he turned to the non-surgical regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
It was really fascinating how they did their work, and the science behind it was very intriguing, and it works. Extracting the cure out of my own body blew my mind. It's like I'm brand new again. It was fantastic.
That's because the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments use your body's own healing power to restore damaged tissue in your hips, shoulders, back, and knees, providing long-lasting relief.
Now I'm back at the gym. I'm 100%, feeling great.
If you're tired of suffering with pain from arthritis or injury, call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 463-235-7160. That's 463-235-7160. In Eagle Creek and Greenwood, 463-235-7160.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Do you have a wet basement problem? Are you tired of cleaning it up after every rain? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, a real local Indiana family-owned company. Even a small amount of water in your basement can lead to a huge amount of problems. Don't let your wet basement problem get worse. Call Indy's most trusted basement waterproofer, Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com. And ask about our easy no-interest, no-payment financing.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I'll run some stories by you. You simply tell us if they're really anything or not. It's pretty simple. A California man says that he was stung by a scorpion in the testicles while staying at his resort in Las Vegas. Michael Farchi, he was staying at the Venetian, and here he is explaining what happened to him.
I just felt like somebody stabbing me in my private area. I went to the restroom and I saw a scorpion. Everybody wasn't shocked. I mean, nobody believed. Even I couldn't believe it.
Oh, I'd faint.
That anything?
You'd wake me. Yeah, that's something. That sucks. Now, it says the guy is considering legal action against the resort. Now, it sucks waking up with a scorpion on your beanbag. I understand that, but I don't see how it's the resort's fault.
Well, it might be the resort's fault because there was a scorpion in the room. Like, I'm no lawyer here. I'm not Perry Mason, but I'm pretty sure when Michael Farchi agreed to check into his room at the Venetian, he thought it would be scorpion-free. That wasn't anywhere on the paperwork he signed.
You ever have a bug or any sort of creature on the old beanbag?
Skeeter on my Peter? Knock it off? Can't say that I have, Nige. Can't say that I have.
Yes. Right on.
What about you?
No skeeters on Peters, no scorpions on beanbags, nothing. Thank God.
Meanwhile, an Arizona woman found a rattlesnake in the back seat of her car.
Oh!
And it most likely had been in there for around 2 weeks. Good God, we should have made this damn nature you scary instead of is this anything. Here is Mylan talking about finding the snake and her boyfriend helping get rid of it.
First a laugh and then panic, and I lost my mind. And he turned around and he had seen a tongue kind of like flipping at him. He's like, get out of the car. And so I freeze up because I'm like, when I get scared, I freeze. In a state where there's lots of critters and lots of things that can get into small spaces, personal spaces, to know what to do in that situation and who to call. We got real comfortable in that car. That snake made its home in there.
Great moments in shooing away rattlesnake history. Go on, get out of here, get. That would terrify me too. Which would you rather have? A scorpion on a beanbag or a rattler in your back seat?
Oh, rattler in my back seat.
Yeah.
Because I can't stress this enough. It's not on my beanbag yet. Any sort of skeeter, as mentioned previously, on bag area, I'm out.
Okay. All right. I think I'm with you. I'd rather have the rattler in the back seat. That would scare the ever-loving crap. And the fact that it was sitting in there likely for 2 weeks just hanging out. Just chilling, bro. Just chilling. That's even more scary.
Have you ever had anything in your car that's freaked you out? Like, I remember I was driving one day and, like, this big, massive butterfly flew in the car, and I didn't know what it was, and it scared the hell out of me. Just startled me.
I had a wasp in the summer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, pull it out of my driveway, and a wasp came flying in. Kids flipped the F out because their dad was flipping the F out.
I've had that. Yeah. I've had a bee. It wasn't a wasp, but I've had a bee in there. Oh, man, that'd be scary stuff. Allison, ever have anything fly into your car and scare the bejesus out of you?
Just a wasp. And it's hard to remain calm because you're driving a vehicle.
Right.
So, that's the scariest thing.
Hit us up on social media. Have you ever had anything get into your car that scares the hell out of you? And I'm waiting for your Ricky Bobby Cougar jokes. Bring them on at Hammer and Nigel.
Hey, look, if you think you're too busy to exercise, you're too busy to be healthy, you're wrong, because I felt that way when I started training at Exercise Inc. You show up once a week for your private 20-minute workout. Private studios, no mirrors, no music, no spandex, just you and your coach. I feel better. I lost a little bit of weight, and I look better. You stick with the program, you might even be able to get off some of those prescription meds you're on right now. They have 5 locations, okay? Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now the newest in Fishers. ExerciseInc.com. Go there today to sign up for a free consultation. Are you within 5 years of filing for Social Security? Get this, 96% of Americans forfeit an average of $111,000 in Social Security income, and it's all because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Hey, it's Hammer Nigel here. Learn how you could squeeze every nickel out of your benefits with a free customized Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy right here in Indy.
If you've saved more than $200,000 for retirement and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. Filing for benefits could have huge consequences for your taxes, IRA, 401k withdrawals, and even your Medicare premiums. That's why you can't take this decision lightly. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 648-5120.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hey everyone, it's Joe Montana. Spreading the word about pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older like me, you're at increased risk. So, what's the game plan? A strong defense. Pneumococcal pneumonia can strike at any time in any season, so you shouldn't wait to help protect yourself. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination today and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They found guns and drugs. Cloudy and 50 degrees on the circle. There's no rain on your radar. Low of 41 expected tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Illegal handguns were found at a home in Greenfield and were being used by a 17-year-old boy, says Greenfield Police Chief Brian Hartman.
There were 3 handguns located, to include one of them that already had a Glock switch attached to it, with a 30-round magazine fully loaded.
He says police also found weed and psychedelic mushrooms at the home. The boy was arrested. A man driving a Honda Civic that had wrecked into the back of a home in Brownsburg Tuesday had been shot in the chest.
He has been preliminary identified as a 21-year-old Indianapolis man, and he appeared to have sustained a gunshot wound in his torso. Emergency life-saving efforts were rendered at the time, but the victim was pronounced dead at the scene.
Captain Amanda Goings with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office. A 15-year-old boy has been arrested and charged with the murder. Several Republicans are concerned about TikTok being a national security threat. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says Congress is working on legislation to address some of those concerns.
The administration has worked with members of Congress from both parties to pursue a durable legislative solution that would address the threat posed by certain technology services operating in the United States that put at risk Americans' personal information and broader national security. And so what we see is this bill is important.
A few states have already implemented TikTok bans on government devices. The Senate's top Republican is endorsing Donald Trump for president. Fox's Ryan Schmelz reports.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says his position hasn't changed on endorsing former President Trump, despite the events of January 6 and attacks from the former president against him and his family.
I said in February of 2021, shortly after the attack on the Capitol, that I would support President Trump if he were the nominee of our party, and he obviously is going to be the nominee of our party.
Nikki Haley suspended her campaign this morning. Stocks finishing up of the day. The Dow rose by 75 to 38,661. The NASDAQ up by 91, closing at 16,031. The S&P 500 rose by 26 to 5,104. Traffic and weather in 1 minute. Your time is 4:33.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping make us national sales leaders for the 7th year in a row. We continue to save our new clients 30 to 40% when compared to their current ACA, short-term, COBRA, or small group programs. Breaking news. On July the 7th, President Biden signed an executive order outlawing short-term health plans. If you're on a short-term plan or just unhappy with your present coverage, call Terry or Ron at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. Our coverages are guaranteed to age 65 with zero deductible and zero copay options, all on the largest network in the country. Give us a call. What the heck you got to lose? As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of it.
With traffic at 334, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison coming into downtown. 65 is done, at least for the moment. I'm looking at the northwest side, 2 downtown, southbound 65. Crash 21st Street. 2 left lanes are closed. With traffic stopped back to the White River, that is a 27-minute delay as we're counting it. Also, northbound 65 now stop to stop and go traffic from West 71st up to Whitestown Parkway. Northbound 465 stop and go from 86th Street up to 865. Still on the northwest side, crash Georgetown Road at 71st. Eastbound 70 coming into downtown slowly from Belmont to the South Split. At a delay now on westbound 70 running from Meridian, Illinois out to Belmont. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets, visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
As we make our way into Wednesday evening, we'll be mostly cloudy with a low temperature around the 40-degree mark. Winds out of the northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday is going to be another cloudy one, but will be rain-free with high temperature around 55. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8, meteorologist Renard Sutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I am really enjoying Meltdown Madness presented by Window Nation.
Love it.
I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is here.
Hello.
We've got a bracket. We've got 16 of the most high-profile celebrity, athlete, musician, politician meltdowns of all time. They compete against each other every day, and we call it Meltdown Madness. Now, let's update you on yesterday's head-to-head matchup.
I didn't see who won.
So yesterday, the number 3 seed, this was a meltdown that a lot of people thought would make it to the Final Four. The world-famous Howard Dean scream after the Iowa caucus.
We're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. And we're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
That's so ridiculous.
That really ended his political career.
Sure.
I mean, he's still around, but he was never viewed as a major player because of that, after Iowa. As a matter of fact, it became like pop culture phenomenon. Somebody made a techno dance mix out of it.
Go to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington again. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
Get your glow sticks out.
Will not give up.
So that was the number 3 seed taking on a very scrappy, very good number 14 seed, R. Kelly, doing an interview with CBS. Gayle King was the host. This was shortly after multiple women, the majority of them underage, had accused R. Kelly of a lot of bad stuff.
Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
No, R, I don't think you want to believe the truth. That you're going to spend 30 years in jail.
As Casey Daniels said earlier today, it's the relationship with the kids that got you in that situation, Robert. So, final score by a total of 60.7% to 39.3%.
Oh.
I don't see nothing wrong.
Oh, wow.
R. Kelly pulling the upset, knocking out Howard Dean, the number 3 seed, going home. R. Kelly moving on to the next round. So let's get to today's matchup.
Let's do it.
Round 1, game 2. It's a 12 against a 5 matchup. Now, what do we know about real March Madness? Every year, it seems like a 12 seed knocks off a 5. Let's see if it happens today. The number 5 seed, iconic broadcast legend, Casey Kasem. Very upset.
Oh, yeah. I used to listen to him all the time on the weekends when I was a kid. He had
the top 40.
Yeah, the top 40, sure.
Very upset that his producer wants him to do a dedication about a dead dog after an up-tempo song.
He was a little dog named Snuggles, but he was most certainly a part of... Let's start again. From coming out of the record. Play the record, okay? Please. See, when you come out of those up-tempo damn numbers, man, it's impossible to make those transitions, and then you got to go into somebody dying. You know, they do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for, but damn it, if we can't come out of a slow record, I don't understand it. Is Don on the phone? Okay, I want a damn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a up-tempo record every time I do a damn death dedication. Now, make it, and I also want to know what happened to the pictures I was supposed to see this week. Since last damn time, I want somebody to use his brain to not come out of a damn record that is that's up-tempo, and I got to talk about a dog dying.
Yeah! Oh, that's incredible. I haven't heard that forever.
Is Don on the phone? Get Don on the phone.
Don's about to get a royal ass chewing from Casey Kasem.
So that is the number 5 seed, taking on the number 12 seed. And Nigel, I think this one's more in your wheelhouse. I know you're a Tom Cruise fan.
I love Tom. Love Tom Cruise.
This was on the set of Mission Impossible 7.
Oh, I remember, yeah.
This was during COVID lockdowns, but Tom Cruise, because he has producer credits, he talked the Hollywood studios into letting him continue making this movie while a lot of people were still locked down. But somebody on the set wasn't wearing their mask.
Oh, boy.
And Tom Cruise let him have it.
You're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies. Producers. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you I don't ever want to see it again. Ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired. And I see you do it again, you're gone. We are not shutting this movie down. Is it understood? If I see it again, you're gone.
So, Nige,
wow.
We got Casey Kasem against Tom Cruise here. Where are you leaning?
I mean, it doesn't matter that, like, I remember us talking to our previous coworker, Brian Baker, who works on Hollywood sets as a stuntman, and he said Tom Cruise during this time had so much pressure on him during the time of COVID because they had all these little COVID spies on the movie set watching for any infraction, and they could have shut that multi-million-dollar movie down with a snap of a finger, and that wasn't happening under Tom Cruise's watch. So I think I understood, and I can remember Brian Baker saying, "Yeah, I get it. This guy, you know, other movie studios are looking at what we're doing and trying to do the same thing, so we could keep people working." The Casey Kasem thing was a little petty. So I don't know where all those kind of things factor in terms of which meltdown is worse.
What is a bigger meltdown?
I would say Casey Kasem has the bigger meltdown there.
Okay.
It's so petty and stupid.
Get Don on the phone. Like the next time Allison tries to hit the dump button and it doesn't work, I'm going to flip out and yell, "Get Don on the phone." Voting is alive on Twitter right now. So follow us, go to our Twitter page, X page, whatever you want to call it, at Hammer and Nigel, and vote right now. It's pinned at the top. What is a bigger meltdown? Whatever your definition of a meltdown is, which one was bigger? Casey Kasem talking about coming out of an up-tempo record, having to talk about a dead dog, or Tom Cruise dealing with somebody that did not want to wear a mask on a movie set? At Hammer and Nigel, voting is live. You've got until about 1 o'clock tomorrow. Get your votes in right now.
Gotta love Low T Center. It's not your typical men's doctor's office. It's literally concierge medicine for men. Their physicians specialize in treating low testosterone with custom treatment for each patient. And it's a simple blood test. It's really quick and easy. With their on-site lab, you'll get your results back in about 25 minutes. So if you've been feeling tired, grumpy, lack of motivation, weight gain, loss of muscle mass. It could be signs of low testosterone.
And the Low T Center does so much. They are a one-stop shop for all things men's health. Yes, they specialize in testosterone, but they can screen you for some cancers. They can screen you for sleep apnea. They do a lot, and most health insurance is accepted. And right now, at a Low T Center near you, it's only $25 to get your T level tested, and you get results back in about 25 minutes. LowTCenter.com. Book that appointment online today. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
When life happens, Michelis happens to help you through it. That includes water, storms, fire, and the whole insurance mess. Working hand in hand with the claims adjuster, Michelis is your advocate, your voice, your local trusted advisor for cleaning up, building back, and moving forward when disaster strikes. Now that is an insurance policy. Make it Michelis. Call 844-FIX-INDY.
Discovery, innovation, progress. It all starts right here at IU Indianapolis. We're making cutting-edge discoveries in science, technology, and healthcare. We're investing in Indiana's future with degrees that make a difference. We're partnering with local businesses to drive our city forward. And we're just getting started. See where we're going at indianapolis.iu.edu/start.
Cancer's worst gets our best. Franciscan Health is a national leader in treating colorectal cancer, achieving the highest standards in cancer care. With accredited programs, board-certified oncologists, and fellowship-trained colorectal surgeons, Franciscan Health is focused on your future, offering the most advanced treatments and latest clinical trials that are no match for colorectal cancer. Meet colorectal cancer's toughest opponent at franciscanhealth.org/colon-cancer-care. That's franciscanhealth.org/colon-cancer-care.
For over 75 years, Runnings stores have earned the reputation for quality brands, fair value, and hometown-friendly service. Now Runnings is bringing those same values to you. Runnings is now open in your community. Find the widest variety of everything you and your family need for your home, on the farm, and in the outdoors. Runnings is proud to live, work, and serve in local communities across the Midwest, the Northeast, and America's heartland. Runnings is your new home, farm, and outdoor store. We look forward to seeing you soon. Learn more about us at runnings.com.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
The Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. For hunting, sporting, and personal protection gear, visit the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake kitchen and bath cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
All right, voting is live for Meltdown Madness presented by our good friends at Window Nation. Matt Bear, which one of those clips would you vote to advance? Casey Kasem melting down about the long-distance dedication, about a dead dog after an up-tempo record, or Tom Cruise freaking out about COVID?
I totally get the Tom Cruise thing. I would vote for Casey Kasem, so you can put my vote with Casey Kasem, if you would, please. Looking at northbound 65 crash at Whitestown Parkway. The crash reported there, and traffic is stopped back to 71st Street for a 27-minute delay. Southbound 65 crash at 21st, blocking 2 left lanes. Stop traffic to the White River and a little bit beyond 26-minute delay there. A wreck Georgetown Road at 71st. Also northbound 465 on the east side. Stop and go traffic from 70 up to 71st Street. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake kitchen and bath cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road on North Shadeland, online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
50 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
I'm counting down, so turn around. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now make that booty go.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Coming up after 5 o'clock, Trump didn't win every state on Super Tuesday last night, but neither did Joe Biden. And as a matter of fact, we might hear from AI Joe Biden a little bit after 5 o'clock. Plus, Joy Reid from MSNBC up to her usual race baiting shenanigans. But right now, Hammer, this is interesting. This is a first for us, right?
Yes.
This what you're holding in your hands right now.
I think we have received these types of letters before, but
Yes.
Allison has not. I'm going to show this
Oh, boy.
to the YouTube camera. I'm going to cover up the name here.
My heart's racing.
This, in my hand, is a fan letter to producer Allison from the Indiana Department of Corrections.
Oh, boy.
I'm speechless.
This is your first letter from prison, correct?
It is. Look, Mom, I made it.
So, remember when Geraldo had Al Capone's vaults, and it was
Yes.
a live broadcast,
Yes.
and nobody knew what was on the inside?
Just like Rachel Maddow with Trump's taxes. Yes.
So, let's find out what was so important that this individual, and we're not going to say his name, from the Indiana Department of Correction wanted Allison to know. Okay. I'm going to hand you the letter. You are going to open it on the air right now, and if you can, share a little bit about what this is about.
What's this white stuff on it?
Stop joking.
All right.
This is from Pendleton, I believe, the Department of Corrections.
Oh, wait, this is for all of us. It says Dear Hammer and Nigel.
But it said your name on the envelope.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. Greetings from the correctional facility. He's been a big fan of the show, been listening for a long time. Loves the Is This Anything segment.
Awesome.
Loves your Wish TV stuff. So far, nothing about me. That's really, really disheartening.
Oh, wait, there's a picture of a crank.
Oh, and that's to Nigel. Yeah, he's just saying he appreciates you guys talking about what's really going on in Indianapolis.
Okay. We'll
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Maybe it was addressed to you. So, like, since you're the producer of this program, you kind of delegate and decide.
Sure, he just want to make sure it's in the right hands.
Yes.
Correct.
Oh,
Well, that's good. We'll take that.
It does remind me, too, actually, last month, a listener, John from Hendricks County, he actually sent me a very kind note and a book about Taylor Swift. So shout out to you and John. So
All right. Well, we know who you are. We've got your name, inmate. But thank you for the kind words. We appreciate that.
We're going to frame it.
Earlier, we were talking about crazy things that have happened to you while you were driving, right? Things that have jumped into your car.
Yeah, like a wasp flying into my car, and I almost flipped my truck trying to get it out.
So we opened it up, hit us up on social media, crazy things that have happened to you. Daniel sends me this message, driving late at night and had a huge spider decide to drop down from my visor.
No.
It was dark and I could only see part of it. And then I was in traffic. I pulled over and then I couldn't find it. That's never good. I don't know what's worse, the spider falling down or the fact that you can't find it afterwards.
Yeah. Oof.
The mental torture going on because you can't find it. Andy sends us this message. A friend of my dad had a junkyard and a tow truck. So I needed a ride one day and jumped into the tow truck that was parked at the junkyard. There must have been a hole in the bottom because as we were on the interstate, a big rat came out from underneath of the seat. Can you imagine? You're going down the road, you're probably doing about 50 in this tow truck, and a big rat jumps out of that bad boy.
I got one here from Gerald. Left my car window down on a summer night. Early the next morning, it rained. I jumped in the car, rolled up the windows, doing 55 on a highway, headed to work, and a feral cat jumped out of the back seat, did 30 laps around the whole car, scratched, and almost died. I've had to deal with feral cats in tight spaces before. One got trapped down in a window well in my basement at a house I used to live at. My buddy Mark had to put on a giant winter coat with giant gloves. So, he's going to get scratched.
Right,
I didn't
right.
But I was filming him, and he had hopped down there in that window well in the basement and just grabbed the thing. He's going crazy. Just going nuts. The cat's going absolutely nuts, but he just tossed it out and ran away.
I know that's your cat impression, but that was a solid AOC. I know that was your cat impression, your feral cat, but that sounded like AOC responding to those protesters that were yelling at her. I already called it a genocide. Voting is live. Meltdown Madness.
Oh, yeah,
Go
baby.
to Twitter at Hammer and Nigel. I think this is a good matchup. Casey Kasem against Tom Cruise. Right now, Casey has an early lead. Get those votes in at Hammer and Nigel. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, you heard Nigel mention it earlier, we may hear from AI Joe Biden.
Congresswoman Sparks will be ready for your interview soon.
It seems pretty intense in there.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Maybe I'll take some time before the interview to Google Victoria Sparks and learn a little more about her. Whoa. Have you seen this article?
One aide calling the lawmakers' workplace behavior manic?
Victoria Sparks was #1 on Legistorm's list of worst bosses based on high turnover rates.
Says she, quote, avoided firing aides and instead bullied them until they left.
And the story is based on interviews with half a dozen former staffers.
Yikes. Sparks called staff morons and idiots.
Get this. Victoria Sparks says her working style is, quote, not for everyone.
Well, it's not for me. I think I'll pass on this interview.
I'm Chuck Goodrich. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Go with Chuck Goodrich Committee.
This is the day of the big sale at your gift shop.
Welcome in.
So this isn't just a big day for your business. It's a big day for the network keeping it all connected. That is, if it can handle the pressure.
Next in line, please.
So is it possible to get business internet you can really count on? It is. With 99.9% network reliability from Comcast Business. It's like this neat little bow.
Do you like that gift wrap?
Really ties it all together. Reliable internet for your business. It's not just possible, it's happening. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get an $800 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today to switch to Comcast Business. Ends 5/5/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble.
Yeah?
Free alignment and a free oil change?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Michelin's up to $175 off?
Right.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. What do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Michelin's and save up to $175 more. See store for details.
Drip. Drip. Drip.
Annoying, isn't it?
Drip.
It's even worse when it's coming from your fireplace.
Drip.
That water stain on the ceiling isn't going to fix itself. Call Chimney Solutions Indiana. Their certified technicians will make sure your fireplace is ready for reliable comfort this season. Stop the
drip.
Call the experts trusted by thousands of Indiana homeowners. Call Chimney Solutions Indiana at 317-757-6979 or go to chimneyindy.com.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Stretch your tax dollars during our Buy More, Save More sale. The more you buy, the bigger the discounts, and it's all delivered for free within 75 miles of Columbus. Everything from Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, Bassett, Sealy mattresses, every lift chair, it's all included with the lowest price guaranteed. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Coming up in 2 minutes, John Havrick reports on a 15-year-old arrested for murder. A 17-year-old was caught in possession of drugs and machine gun switches. And Ryan Hedrick reports on an organization remembering those who have died from an overdose. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
A mass shooting in Philadelphia. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. Preliminary reports of 7 people found with gunshot wounds when police responded to multiple 911 calls about a shooting involving a city bus. Transit officials say 2 buses were hit by gunfire, but the injured people were all bystanders, not passengers or employees. No word yet on their conditions. It is the 4th gunfire incident on the Philadelphia transit system in 4 days. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is sending hundreds of National Guard members, state police, and transit police into the New York City subways to crack down on transit crime, including last week's attack on a conductor who was slashed in the neck.
And let me just be very, very clear. These brazen, heinous attacks on our subway system will not be tolerated.
Her plan includes bag checks, cameras, and a proposal to ban violent offenders from the transit system. The police union leader says the governor is prioritizing safety, but that the NYPD is understaffed by thousands and that long-term solutions are needed. The U.S. House just passing a package of spending bills, $460 billion worth, the first batch needed to avoid a partial government shutdown, with a Senate vote expected before Friday's midnight deadline. More spending bills for the rest of government have a deadline later this month. Former President Trump challenging President Biden to a debate now that a rematch is likely after they dominated Super Tuesday contests and Nikki Haley suspended her campaign.
We were in the room when Nikki Haley made this announcement. It was pretty somber in there, both amongst her staffers as well as her supporters. Very quick speech, only about 4 minutes or so. She did not endorse Donald Trump. Instead, she urged him to try to win over her supporters.
Fox's Bill Malugin in Charleston. President Biden also appealing to Haley's supporters on issues including preserving democracy. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why a teenager has been arrested. Cloudy, 49 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. All clear on your radar. You'll have a low of about 41 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. A Honda Civic into a home. A person killed and an arrest made in Hendricks County. John Herrick explains it all.
It was just before 5 o'clock Tuesday afternoon that police were told that someone drove a Honda Civic into a house.
The homeowners and residents that were inside the house at the time of the crash luckily were not injured as a result of that crash.
Captain Amanda Goings with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office says they found a man from Indianapolis who had been driving the Civic, and he was shot in the torso, and he did not survive. Then early Wednesday morning, Goings says they believe they found the person responsible, a 15-year-old boy who was arrested and charged with murder and dangerous possession of a firearm. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indy police have a man in custody after a standoff ended this afternoon on the west side. Officers responded to the home off Belmont Avenue around 7 in the morning for a disturbance between a man and woman. The woman ran out of the home. The man shut himself inside. IMPD said by 1:30 he was brought into custody. Nobody was hurt. A teenage boy in Greenfield, who police say had been previously involved in gun-related crimes, was found with more guns Tuesday.
We had information that a juvenile was selling Glock switches. After obtaining this information, we started doing surveillance on the juvenile.
Greenfield Police Chief Brian Hartman says they got a search warrant and searched the home once the kid's parents arrived. Hartman says they discovered the boy had 3 illegal handguns and drugs. So he was arrested. Remembering lives lost to drug overdoses, an organization in Indiana that played a role in changing state law regarding Narcan is making a tribute. Ryan Hedrick reports.
1,500 Hoosiers died last year from drug overdoses. That's why Overdose Lifeline founder Justin Phillips says March 6th is known as Black Balloon Day.
It is nationally recognized as a day to just remember all the lives that have been lost, overdosed from substances.
Overdose Lifeline is credited with helping to pass an Indiana law in 2015, which makes the opiate reversing drug Narcan available to the public. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. but the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
With traffic at the 5s at 5:05, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, with the crash to clear coming into downtown from the northwest side. I'm talking about southbound 65 at 21st Street. That's clear. The traffic is not, because it just cleared. Traffic is stopped back to 38th Street, Kessler Boulevard. Delay time is now 26 minutes for the moment. That will get better. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic from Belmont to the south. Split on the east side. Northbound 465, stop and go traffic from I-70 to 75th. Northbound 465 on the northwest side. Stop and go 86th Street, 865. If you're stuck on northbound 65, say around 71st, you should be moving by now. The crash did clear at Whitestown Parkway. The front of the line has cleared out. You're on your way. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
As we make our way into Wednesday evening, will be mostly cloudy with a low temperature around the 40-degree mark. Winds out of the northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday is going to be another cloudy one, but will be rain-free with high temperature around 55. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8, meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! In all likelihood, Donald Trump will be the Republican nominee when our party convention meets in July. I congratulate him and wish him well. Margaret Thatcher provided some good advice when she said, quote, never just follow the crowd.
Yeah, a little bit of Nikki Haley dropout speech from earlier today after Trump just demolished her on Super Tuesday, winning every state that was on the docket except Vermont. You know what, Hammer, I used to like Nikki Haley. I thought she was smart. I thought she, except for her like war hawkishness, but she's just she's a lying politician. She was a staunch, Rob Kendall was talking about this today. She started out as a staunch, never Trumper Republican. Then, all of a sudden, magically, she's working for him as ambassador. And then when it was no longer politically expedient for her to do so, she turned back into a never Trumper. She's a liar. She said she'd never run against Trump. What did she do? She ran against Trump. And then she signed that letter from the RNC saying that she would support the eventual GOP nominee. And that didn't sound like an endorsement to me.
No, but that letter was BS from the RNC. You knew some of those people were just lying out their teeth. Chris Christie, I'm sure, signed that letter, and he was up on the debate stage.
You had to if you were on the debate stage.
No way was that dude ever going to vote for Donald Trump.
I'm just saying, like Rob said this morning, she's a politician. She's a lying politician, and that kind of rubs me the wrong way about her.
She did win Vermont.
Oh, yeah, there's that. So
she got a dub last night. She got that one, Walter Mondale type win last night that prevented a Super Tuesday shutout. She also won the swamp. She won big in Washington, D.C., like 60% in D.C. And that right there should tell you everything you need to know about this current version of Nikki Haley. Swamp monster. Donald Trump in his speech last night, his big victory speech, after winning every state except for Vermont, did not mention Nikki Haley's name. Not one time. This kind of signals the pivot to the general election.
We're going to straighten it out. We're going to close our borders. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to get the inflation down. And we are going to make our country greater than ever before. And we're going to do it quickly. We're going to do it quickly. It's going to go fast. We have to get the criminals out. We have many, many criminals that have entered our country. We have people coming in from such such bad places, and we're going to have to get them out. We have murderers that are being deposited into our country. We have drug dealers at the biggest and highest levels. They're coming into our country. And we're going to close our borders. We're going to have to deport a lot of people, a lot of bad people, because our countries can't live like this. Our cities are choking to death. Our states are dying. And frankly, our country is dying. And we're going to make America great again, greater than ever before. Thank you very much. It's been a big night. Thank you very much.
Nothing about Nikki Haley, wasn't ripping on her supporters, wasn't ripping on her last night, which I thought was the smart move for Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, I think the one bad move Trump did say is, like, if you are a Nikki Haley supporter or a donor, then I don't want you working for me. But something to that effect, paraphrasing there, which I thought may have been a misstep.
The Biden campaign saw that. The Biden campaign put out a statement.
Yeah,
quote, Donald Trump made it clear he doesn't want Nikki Haley's supporters.
Yeah.
I want to be clear. There's a place for them in my campaign. I think we all feel like they were already on your campaign, though, Joe. Nikki Haley supporters are going to vote for Joe Biden in the general election. We knew that all along. Nobody's fooled by that. Speaking of Joe Biden, he lost American Samoa last night.
Oh, the territory, the U.S. territory in the South Pacific?
Correct.
He lost?
He lost to some dude that I just learned about like 24 hours ago. Jason Palmer, an entrepreneur, beat Joe Biden in the American Samoa primary.
What do you know?
Here to share his thoughts on what happened in that primary involving American Samoa, here is AI Joe Biden.
Hey, to all of, those bastards that didn't vote for me in America, Sonoma, I hope you all get herpes. I'll never eat your Girl Scout cookies again.
AI Joe Biden with his response to the voters of American Samoa. Not to be confused with Sonoma. Last night on MSNBC, boy, they brought out all the stars. They had Jen Psaki. They had Rachel Maddow. They had Joy Reid.
Ugh.
Like, if they're all here, who's running hell? Joy Reid last night says that Republicans are not voting on economics or policy. They're voting on race.
But Republican voters don't vote that way. They don't vote based on economics or based on the benefits they're getting economically from the president. They're increasingly, from the Tea Party on, they're voting on race. They're voting on this idea of an invasion of brown people over the border. The idea that they can't get whatever job they want. A black person got it, therefore drive all the blacks out of the colleges, get rid of DEI. That is what they're voting on. They're just voting specifically on racial animus at this stage. It isn't about economics. No.
I'm sure she has all the facts and stats to back that up. Republicans are trying to vote. They're voting on race because they want the blacks out of the colleges. Is that what you said?
Nigel, you and your drugs. Expecting Joy Reid to come to the table with facts. That's cute.
Okay.
So as we say farewell to Nikki Haley.
Yes.
She suspended her campaign.
Yes.
She had the big announcement earlier today. It's become customary here on the Hammer and Nigel show that when someone goes away, we have a very emotional Sarah McLachlan-style tribute. This is ours for Nikki Haley.
I can safely say tonight Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race. I defeat Joe Biden by up to 18 points.
I mean, Nick, if you can't tell the difference between where Israel is and the U.S. is on a map, I can have my 3-year-old son show you the difference.
She is a total loser and a Broad Ripple 5.
Donald Trump will be the Republican nominee when our party convention meets in July. I congratulate him and wish him well.
Oh, sweet.
There it is, the Sarah McLachlan-style tribute for Nikki Haley.
Very emotional.
All right, Matt Bear, what's going on?
Crash cleared coming into downtown Hammer, southbound 65 at 21st. Still stop-and-go traffic back to 38th Kessler. Everything cleared out up in the Pike on northbound 65. Northbound 465, not so much. Still stop-and-go 79th up to 865. East side northbound 465, slow from 70 to 71st. Eastbound 72 downtown stop-and-go traffic from Harding into the south split. And on the south side, eastbound 465, pockets of slow from Kentucky Avenue over to I-65. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop Grand Appliance for unbeatable prices, fast delivery, and expert installation on a huge selection of in-stock appliances. Learn more at grandappliance.com or your local showroom. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Don't forget to vote. Meltdown Madness presented by Window Nation. It's pinned to the top of our Twitter page. Go there right now. Vote for what you think is a bigger meltdown of the matchup today. Casey Kasem or Tom Cruise. And if you need to hear those before you vote, Allison will get that posted on the podcast page at WIBC.com. And while you're there, don't forget to print off your State of the Union bingo card for tomorrow. Hammer and Nigel, State of the Union bingo. It's the only way this thing's going to be enjoyable. Print your card off right now. 49 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Are you okay with this? Next.
Crime and violence in Indy, chaos at our border. 1,000 miles apart, but the cause is the same. Soft on-crime policies pushed by the far left. I'm Jefferson Shreve. I took them on because I couldn't accept it. Now the fight is bleeding into our suburbs and up from our southern border. We need conservative leaders who keep their word. For law, order, and a secure border, I'm Jefferson Shreve, and I approve this message.
Indiana businessman Jefferson Shreve.
Let's talk about the mess we're in today. The left's pushing their agenda. Our culture's under attack from the far left. And don't even get me started on the border. I took on the left and their lawlessness in Indianapolis, and now it's bleeding into our suburbs and rising from our southern border. It's time to fix the problem in Congress. For law, order, and a secure border, I'm Jefferson Shreve, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Shreve for Congress.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. Financial peace of mind means knowing you've covered all of your bases, and for retirement, that begins with building a solid foundation. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's info 42 to 866-482-9559.
Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities, LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Listen up, contractors. Southeastern Equipment has added Develon to their equipment lineup. Now you can buy, rent, or lease Develon wheel loaders, articulated dump trucks, dozers, and much more. Get in the cab and take on your new Develon crew member during Southeastern Equipment's March 7th open house from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Roll over to 4951 West 96th Street, call 317-872-4877, or visit sequip.co/hello Develon. Don't miss the Southeastern Equipment open house March 7th.
Advent is coming soon to Indianapolis and accepting appointments now at adventknows.com.
Breathe well with simple solutions.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
24/7 ER care for kids. 24/7 peace of mind for you. Riley Children's Health emergency doctors and nurses are in the ER around the clock at IU Health North in Carmel. Learn more at rileychildrens.org/ER.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun, brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel Show.
In an interview with a BBC quote-unquote journalist, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's out of Georgia, right?
Yes.
Representative out of Georgia. Controversial figure. She was, this was some event, some gala, they were being interviewed, and this BBC journalist came up to her, and Marjorie Taylor Greene wound up telling the journalist to F off.
Trump is closer to picking his VP, and should you be on that list?
Oh, that's the question everyone asks. And no, I don't think Nikki Haley should be on the list. But of course, President Trump will choose who he wants for VP.
Would you like to be on that list?
He's got a long list. I support President Trump in any way he'd ask me. But I can assure you it won't be Nikki Haley.
And can you tell me why so many people that support Donald Trump love conspiracy theories, including yourself? He seems to attract lots of conspiracy theorists.
Well, let me tell you, you're a conspiracy theorist, and the left and the media spreads more conspiracy theories. We like the truth. We like supporting our Constitution, our freedoms, and America first. So,
what about Jewish space lasers? Tell us about Jewish space lasers.
No, why don't you go talk about Jewish space lasers? And really, why don't you f*** off? How about that?
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Are you okay with MTG telling that journalist to F off?
Yes, I'm good with all of this. And listen, this British reporter, and I'm using air quotes there, was clearly out to go get Marjorie Taylor Greene. However, Large Marge puts herself out there, so she has to know this kind of stuff is coming.
Well, the Jewish space laser thing is completely false. She never said the California wildfires were caused by Jewish space lasers. That's a hoax. But you're right. I mean, she's a controversial figure, and the BBC journalist sucks because she baited her with a legitimate question. Do you think Trump is going to pick Nikki Haley to be his VP? And then followed that up by saying, would you like to be his VP? And then she switched to Jewish space lasers.
And I like to ask this journalist about the conspiracy theories in question. Are we talking about COVID? Because I'm old enough to remember you were called a conspiracy theorist if you said, wait a minute, these things aren't working. And turns out we were right. There's a number of things that were conspiracy theories yesterday that are true today. So that's the kind of go-to for these radical leftists, right? Book bans and conspiracy theories. If you want to find the dumbest people in the room, that's what they're yelling.
Purdue, how about them Boilermakers? They won at Illinois last night. Back-to-back Big Ten regular season champs. Are you okay with this?
I am, because I live bet Purdue at halftime when they were trailing. Illinois was leading Purdue at halftime.
Yes.
And I logged into my sports betting app, and I saw that Purdue was getting points for a second half. And I thought, you know what? I will take the Boilermakers. They won the game outright. Didn't even need the points. And here's the thing with Purdue. Congratulations on the regular season championship. It's amazing. No one can ever take that away from you. You are one of the best programs in America right now. But you got to do something in March. Right? Because I got a lot of Purdue friends, and they're pretty mouthy. And the thing is, you haven't really won anything. Like
Todd Meyer. Excuse me. Did I say that?
Like, I get it. You want to talk about the dusty banners down in Bloomington. But the real reality is there are things to collect dust in Bloomington. Now, Purdue, two things can be true with this Purdue team. You should feel like they are one of the best teams in America and they can win it all.
Yeah.
And you can also be concerned that they're going to have another early exit when some team comes in there with really good guards and shoots the lights out. Both things can be true.
That was the first-round exit for Purdue last year, wasn't it?
Correct. They lost to a 16 seed.
That was a play-in. That was the play-in winner, right?
I can't remember if it was a play-in winner or not, but it was a 16 seed.
It was bad. It was bad, whatever it was.
Now, if you're Purdue, you'll look at Virginia. Virginia was the first team to lose to a 16 seed, and then they came back the following year with the Indy kid, Kyle Guy, and they won the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
So maybe Purdue can take a page out of Virginia's playbook, but let's pump the brakes on all the smack talk. You don't get beat by a 16 seed and then run around and run your mouth.
Anthony Daniels, we all know him. He played C-3PO in Star Wars. He's auctioning off his entire collection. The head that he wore in Return of the Jedi is expected to fetch up to $1 million. Here's a quick scene. If you don't remember C-3PO, who doesn't remember C-3PO with R2-D2?
What mission? What are you talking about? I've just about had enough of you. Go that way. You'll be malfunctioning within a day, you nearsighted scrap pile. And don't let me catch you following me, begging for help, because you won't get it.
Anthony Daniels from Star Wars auctioning off his entire collection. Are you okay with this?
I'm okay with this because I didn't know he was still alive. Good for Anthony Daniels for still being alive. That's the real story in this. And the memorabilia market is interesting. Some things will go higher than others. We just had the story the other day. I think you were gone. Guy Relford was in about the booth that Tony Soprano was whacked in at the final scene of Sopranos, went up on the auction block from that restaurant in New Jersey, and it got around $80,000. But you're telling me C-3PO's helmet from Return of the Jedi is going for $1 million. The Star Wars people, they go next level.
Yeah.
We see it here when Gen Con rolls through. Anytime there's a movie that comes out, they go hard in the paint. They come with money. They come with numbers. And yes, this is something.
Anthony Daniels, in fact, still alive, 78 years old.
Good for him.
All right, last one. Trans activists and the person behind Bud Light losing billions of dollars and all of their iconic brand value. Dylan Mulvaney, remember that guy? This the dude that pretends to be like a 13-year-old little girl,
which is totally normal, right?
I guess he's now doing stand-up comedy. Here's some of that comedy.
I would feel like I was a part of something bigger than this.
Huh?
That was a double entendre. Look at me doing stand-up. The conservative men are just pissed that I can beat them in beer pong. And the conservative women are pissed that their kids are calling me mother in all of my Instagram posts.
Wait, so conservative men are pissed that I can beat them in beer pong, and conservative women are pissed that their daughters call me mom in my Instagram posts? Or are you okay with this?
It's my understanding if you have to think about the joke, explain the joke, and tell everyone it's a joke or double entendre, you're probably doing it wrong. So, no, I'm not okay with this, and I'm done. I'm done with Dylan Mulvaney. Any business that wants to partner with Dylan Mulvaney, be my guest. It's a free country. You're free to do it. But did you not learn anything from the Bud Light debacle?
I mean, he just killed him. I mean, tanked the stock just through the floor.
Bud Light has tried to partner with Peyton Manning and the UFC, and they still can't get money back.
That Super Bowl ad blitz did not work for them.
No. Like, there's no bigger dude market than partnering with Dana White and the UFC and Peyton Manning.
Sure.
And, man, the damage left behind from the Dylan Mulvaney special online promotion is still following Bud Light everywhere. And I hate these folks that are super progressive, super left. You got triggered by a beer can. No, the market did. The market got triggered by a beer can. I don't give a damn who Bud Light wants to put on their beer can, but I can choose not to buy said beer can. If they want to put Clay Aiken on there making out with Dylan Mulvaney, they can certainly do that, but I'm probably not going to buy said product. All right, coming up next, we got Tony Kennett The Tonus will join us. That's coming up right after we take a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A teenager caught with guns and drugs. 49 degrees, cloudy over the circle. Nothing to worry about on radar. Low of 41 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 529. Illegal handguns were found at a home in Greenfield and were being used by a 17-year-old boy, says Greenfield Police Chief Brian Hartman.
There were 3 handguns located, to include one of them that already had a Glock switch attached to it with a 30-round magazine fully loaded.
He says police also found weed and psychedelic mushrooms. The boy was arrested. A man from Georgia could spend over 4 years in prison for using people's credit card info from 28 states, including Indiana. Sasha Nixon reports.
According to the Department of Justice, Yapo Ngbishi used more than 300 stolen credit card numbers between 2017 and 2019 to buy gift cards at Lowe's stores. Over the course of the 2 years, he took a combined total of $587,626. Officers eventually searched Ngbishi's laptop, where they found documents detailing everything you wanted to know about in-store carding, among other topics. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
At least 8 people hurt in a shooting in Philadelphia this afternoon. Police believe all the victims are younger than 18. A couple of buses were also hit by gunfire. Philly police say they're looking for as many as 3 suspects. Congress has not yet passed national security legislation addressing problems at the southern border. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre claims Republicans haven't helped the process.
Republicans to have gotten out of the way, not let the former president tell them what to do, and actually move forward with a bipartisan proposal that came out of the Senate. That would have been the toughest, the fairest way to have moved forward with dealing with our immigration.
President Biden and former President Donald Trump each recently took trips to the southern border. The average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.39 per gallon, says GasBuddy.com. That's just below the national average of $3.40. With traffic at 531, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, the crash cleared southbound 65 at 21st, still stop and go traffic to the White River. And then northbound 65 out of downtown slows from the north split to 21st Street. Eastbound is 70 towards the east side, stop and go traffic from the north split to Rural Street, Keystone Avenue. Eastbound 70 into downtown, stop and go from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Northbound 465 on the east side slows from 70 up to 75th. Northbound 465 northwest side, stop and go 86th Street to 865. And a crash northeast side, Allisonville Road north of Kessler. Crash south side, Madison Avenue at Southern. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road on North Shadeland, online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
As we make our way into Wednesday evening, we'll be mostly cloudy with a low temperature around the 40-degree mark. Winds out of the northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday is going to be another cloudy one, but will be rain-free with high temperature around 55. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Also joining us live in studio, Tony Kinnett of the Tony Kinnett Cast and investigative reporter for Daily Signal. Tony Kinnett, Nikki Haley dropping out of the race after getting boat raced for Super Tuesday. Well, wait a minute. I shouldn't say that. She won Vermont, right, Hammer?
She did. And it reminds me of that image that we saw during the NFL season this past year, and I shared it on Twitter earlier, when the Raiders were beating the Chargers 63-7, and there was a Chargers player that got a first down and was celebrating in the face of a Raiders player.
It's like pointing to tell him to walk down the field.
Down 63-7. That's what it was like for her to win Vermont.
Nikki Haley, obviously she's refusing to endorse Donald Trump. I think she could muster, what did she say? I wish him the best. I wish anybody running for president the best. Didn't she have to sign a document before she entered the race for the GOP nomination saying, I will endorse whoever eventually winds up being the candidate? She's not doing that.
She absolutely didn't. Because Trump is the only contender left in the race, that makes him the de facto winner.
And so it's because I've heard some people saying, well, yeah, but he hasn't officially been given the nomination yet. And it's like, okay, well, he's the only one left. So he's running unopposed at this point. So as far as all this is concerned, look, Nikki Haley, she screwed herself out of probably getting a really decent cabinet position in the Trump administration. And she only has herself to blame. I will point this out, though. In Virginia and in Vermont, the exit polling shows that like over 90% of Nikki Haley voters actually said that they were like Joe Biden voters. They thought Joe Biden had done a really great job in the presidency.
There was a big push for that in a lot of these primaries to get folks who are really Democrats to vote in the Republican primary just to give a middle finger to Donald Trump.
And that actually fits into a new investigation that I just released. So we've been hearing rumors of how teachers unions, which donate more to Democrats than anyone else, we'd heard that they were putting money into primary candidates in Texas, maybe Illinois. So I dug into it, and after 46 hours of looking through databases, found that Democrats in 32 states are donating millions of dollars into GOP state legislature primaries. These little pediddly races. Why are they donating to Republican candidates? It's so they can get these sucky, left-leaning Republicans into office, like, Senator Ron Alting from up in Lafayette, who then come into the state house and then vote against Republicans on all of the stuff teachers unions hate.
Wow.
So they want these wishy-washy Republicans, which Nigel and I have said for a long time, in many ways are worse than having an actual Democrat in there, because at least you know where the Democrat's coming from. When you have a weak, wishy-washy Republican and you're expecting some strength and somebody to be a fighter and they cave to the left, that sucks.
And people don't realize how much of a threat this is, because the real secret is everyone knows that people don't pay attention to the primaries. They only pay attention to the general. So if you can fix who both candidates are, you've got it in the bag. And this is not a conspiracy theory. Again, I point to Alting's voting record in Indiana. There's a guy in Pennsylvania named Mahaffey who also took the most and stood against Republicans the most, though he himself was a Republican. But the craziest thing is that in Alabama, the unions have spent so much since 2018. They are outspending Republicans donating to Republicans in the state of Alabama. Over $3.5 million has gone to these Republican primary, again, Republicans.
Unbelievable. Bringing it back closer to home here, since we're talking about education.
Sure.
What did you think when you saw the teacher from Perry Meridian High School that had the hell beat out of him, had to go to the news to get justice, and finally, yesterday, I believe, charges have been filed against this big, strong 16-year-old that beat the hell out of the substitute teacher in Perry Meridian?
My response is that everyone out there listening, you have no idea how bad it is in every single school in the state. Even your safe little rural or suburban school that you think is great is 10 times as violent and 10 times as chaotic as it was 5 or 6 years ago. Don't even get me started on the township schools. Oh my God. My biggest fear while my wife was a music teacher at an elementary school in Warren was that one of these kids, these elementary students, was going to attack her and cause her to miscarry our child, because that's happened in other districts around the country. These kids are more violent than ever, and schools just let them go.
Are you going to send your kids to public school?
Absolutely not. You could not pay me to send my children to public school.
So we've been speaking to you on this program for about a couple of years now, and I remember one of the first things that we talked about, because at the time there was a major shortage of teachers here in Indiana.
Right.
And one of the angles that you brought forth was a lot of these teachers are just scared to be in the classroom, especially when you're talking about some of these inner city schools.
No.
And I remember a lot of people were giving you crap, even people in our own building, the woke colleagues that we may have were jumping onto Twitter saying that's not true. But here we are.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that the guy that was in the school system and saw all of this happening and who literally risked his career to become a whistleblower and say, hey, this stuff is happening, it turns out this stuff is actually happening? You mean the guy who had high evaluations in every single evaluation, 2 education master's degrees and all this? I wasn't lying? Oh my gosh, the shock and awe. I haven't really seen the apologies from those individuals yet. All I've seen is the black eyes on teachers still in Indiana's public schools.
We're speaking with Tony Kinnett, host of the the Tony Kinnett Cast, weeknights here at 7 o'clock on 93 WIBC. Let's bring it back around to the election. I told Hammer to take off his tinfoil hat yesterday because Michelle Obama and her office have officially announced that, no, we are not running for president. We support Joe Biden. Hammer has doubled down. He still thinks it's happening. He doesn't think Joe Biden's going to make it to the election. What say you?
I think that it's very likely the Democrats are trying. So we've often wondered how good the actual military industrial complex is. Right now we are seeing the very best science and medicine the United States can offer just in keeping Joe Biden artificially alive. And I seriously believe that there's a chance Joe Biden could, and I don't say this, Katz kind of slapped back at me when we did that night with WIBC, thought we shouldn't speculate on whether a man's going to live or die. And I say, no, I'm not doing that in jest. I'm serious. I do think the president could die before the election, in which case I think the Democrats have strong-armed themselves, as much as they may hate it, into their intersectionality, gender, race thing, that they would have to put Kamala in there. And that is just, it's a death sentence for them, but it's a death sentence they have to walk into. I think that it's Biden at this point.
And because they were so hell-bent on making Kamala Harris, a female of color, the vice president, now they're in a situation where she was picked because she checked boxes. Even though she's a total buffoon, she's in the way. Let's just say they do find some sort of way to get Joe Biden to step down.
Right.
Now you've got a Kamala Harris problem when clearly the party wants to go with somebody like Gavin Newsom or Michelle Obama.
Well, here's the catch, though. They can't go with Gavin Newsom. And I've been saying this. The Constitution states that a president and the vice president cannot be from the same state. So even if they wanted to keep Kamala on the ticket and go with Newsom, they can't do it. And there's no way you get rid of Joe Biden and you don't have to keep Kamala. So who's left? Shapiro of Pennsylvania? He's already said there's no way, Jose, he's doing this election.
Gretchen Whitmer loves some attention.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think that she polls nationally even as high as Kamala does. Do you think?
I think this piece of paper wadded up in the corner polls higher than Kamala does nationally, Tony.
Well, at this point, I don't think it matters because, again, the entire argument Democrats have now is, well, Trump is just as bad as Biden is. And if that's the case...
In terms of cognitive skills?
That's what they're saying, in terms of mental and cognitive stuff. And my answer to that is, okay, so then you have just made it an election between two vice presidents. And for Trump, whether that's Scott, Noam, or Carson... it sure as hell better not be Vivek. But if it's one of the good three, that's no contest against
Why don't you like Vivek?
Because he's a used car salesman and there's nothing about him that is genuine at all.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah, I like Vivek. I think he's too strong of a personality to be on Donald Trump's ticket.
But from year to year,
he needs a subdued, sort of happy warrior type like Tim Scott.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you do need a more moderate evangelical person to be on the ballot. The problem with Vivek is that you cannot actually point 6 months ago to almost any views that he's held consistently or policy prescriptions. Again, he was a big pharma guy before he decided to jump into politics, and I trust those guys about as far as you can throw them.
Chatting with Tony Kinnett here of the Tony Kinnett Cast. So tomorrow... they're going to wheel out the corpse that is Joe Biden. They're going to prop him up there against the podium, and he's going to deliver the State of the Union address. All of his lackeys are going to stand up in the crowd and clap like seals. What are you expecting we're going to see tomorrow?
This is the longest President Biden will have spoken in public since his disastrous news conference right after the special counsel report.
Yeah.
I do not think there are enough medication. You know that those artificial pumps, insulin pumps? I think they're going to have one of those, but it's just Adderall, for Biden. I'm not joking.
I believe it was Donald Trump who once said, quote, they're going to give him a big fat shot in the ass.
They better, because I don't see how these things go on for 90 minutes. They've become such a stupid Roman spectacle for American society. I do not see how he makes it through that 90 minutes and remains coherent through the first 15, much less the first half hour.
Can you stick around for one more segment? Because I want to get to this very prestigious list that you've been added to, in terms of your journalism and your work in education.
I would take great pride in sticking around.
Oh, I see what you guys are doing.
One more segment here with Tony Kinnett here on the Hammer and Nigel Show. Coming right back.
The invasion on our southern border is threatening every community. But Senator Mike Braun is standing up for Hoosiers and fighting Biden's border crisis. Mike Braun is a leading voice for policies that will put an end to our broken southern border. That's why Mike Braun endorsed reforms in Indiana to end sanctuary cities. Currently, local elected officials are abusing their positions and harboring illegals by declaring sanctuary city status. These leaders refusing to cooperate with ICE and border officials must be stopped. Mike Braun's endorsement of Indiana Senate Bill 181 is a step towards eliminating this lawlessness by requiring local authorities to take action against illegals in Indiana communities. Mike Braun knows we must act now to end the border crisis. Contact your Indiana state legislator at 1-800-382-9841 and thank them for supporting Senate Bill 181. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Are you dealing with foot, knee, hip, or back pain? We can help. Hi, this is Phoebe with the Good Feet store, and I want to talk about your discomfort. Did you know that your feet have a quarter of all the bones in your whole body? With 4 arches, 33 joints, and over 100 ligaments and tendons in each foot, it's no wonder so many people suffer from foot, knee, hip, and back pain. Stop throwing your money away on all those over-the-counter products and expensive shoes that just can't do what the Good Feet store can. At America's Arch Support Store, we teach you everything you need to know about how our patented 3-step system will work to solve your problems so you can get back to living the life you love without your pain getting in the way. Come in today for your free personalized fitting and test walk and trade in those bad feet for some good feet. Don't just live with the pain. Discover your options at the Good Feet store. We're in Fishers and Greenwood. Call 829-1040 or visit goodfeet.com to make your appointment today. Get back to doing what you love with Arch Supports from the Good Feet store.
To thank you for 40 unforgettable years, Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble.
Yeah?
Free alignment and a free oil change?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Michelin's up to $175 off?
Right.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. What do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Michelin's and save up to $175 more. See store for details.
You don't need a job site. You need a hiring platform. Indeed lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
Yeah, Hammer, this is northbound 465, that's stop and go 86th Street to 865. And you exit east, you will be slow to Michigan Road. After that, it opens up. And until you get eastbound 465, stop and go traffic Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. Lawrence, northbound 465, pockets of stop and go traffic from 70 up to 75th. And inbound 65 still loaded from the White River down to 21st because of an earlier crash that has clear delays spread out down to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 stop and go from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Crash east side 30th Emerson Avenue. Crash northeast side Allisonville Road north of Kessler. Crash south side Madison Avenue at Southern. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake kitchen and bath cabinets. Visit Drexel's Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road or on North Shadeland. Online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
49 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Hammer's here, host of the Tony Kinnett Cast. Tony Kinnett has joined us. He's also an investigative reporter for DailySignal.com. You were recently recognized by your peers.
So there's publication called FeedSpot, and I guess it ranks and sorts journalists and other individuals in like prominent media fields. And I found out that 2 or 3 days ago, I was ranked number 8 in the list of best lesbian journalists and editors in the United States.
All right.
Congratulations, man.
You're number 8. You're number 8. right.
And I promise you this, Hoosiers out there listening right now, I will not rest, I will not sleep until I am number one in lesbian journalism.
I'm raising my hand because I have a question. You're not a lesbian, Tony.
Well, hey, to push back on that slightly, I have liked girls for as long as I can remember, and I just don't see why I can't be a lesbian. Hey, you can identify as anything these days.
Sure.
Apparently, people are identifying as other things for me now, which is exciting.
Is somebody trolling here? Did somebody add your name, or are you getting kind of worked over here? Is this a joke?
I think that I've thought about this a lot. I think that this is some kind of pseudo-automated list, and I have written enough articles about LGBTQ-related issues now that they, I guess, decided that only a lesbian could care this much about pride.
So here's what you do. Whenever they have the actual ceremony, go big or go home. Show up to that thing, show up with a date, have a tuck-friendly swimsuit on, and do it.
Driving a Subaru Outback.
Right.
Yep.
Crank up some Indigo Girls and have a night.
That's right. I tell you what, I think I might take up cycling.
Got about a minute left here. Tell us once again, you got the main story up at Daily Signal about how teachers unions, who usually vote and donate to Democrat causes, are now donating and spending millions of dollars in GOP primaries. What is up with that?
That conspiracy theory that everyone heard for ages, in which we said that there were Democrat groups that were propping up fake Republicans. It turns out that is true. It's verified. The donor data shows that teachers unions are donating millions of dollars in 32 states to fake GOP candidates running in state legislature primaries. And once they get into office, they screw over the rest of the Republicans.
Wow. You can find that all at, dailysignal.com?
That's right.
And then your Twitter handle is?
The Tonus.
And what's coming up on the big show tonight at 7 o'clock?
Well, I think we're going to really dig into some issues that I've had as a lesbian growing up in the state of Indiana. Something that our listeners truly care about.
All right, thank you. That's coming up at 7 o'clock tonight. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show. We're coming back.
$111,000. That's a big number, isn't it? 96% of Americans forfeit that number, $111,000 in Social Security income, because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. So if you're within 5 years of filing for Social Security, pay attention and learn how you could squeeze every nickel out of your benefits with a free custom analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Bill Demery is my retirement guy. He should be your retirement guy. And if you've saved more than $200,000 for retirement, but you have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. It's free, 317-648-5120. Filing for benefits can be complicated, but Bill Demery explains them in a way that makes sense. I know because I've met with Bill Demery. So call right now, 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
My husband, Bob, has Parkinson's, and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care, and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. Eligible members can select a plan now. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
An excellent siding job requires hard work, but all that effort doesn't mean much if you can't finish the job. Side more homes in less time with LP SmartSide Expert Finish Trim and Siding, which is lightweight even at 16-foot lengths. LP SmartSide Expert Finish products come ready to install with factory-applied paint so that you and your crew can get to the finish line faster. Finish with efficiency. Finish with LP SmartSide Expert Finish Trim and Siding. Learn more at lpcorp.com/expertfinish or visit your local 84 Lumber at 84lumber.com. That's 84lumber.com.
Fellas, if you've been feeling tired and grumpy and have noticed a lack of motivation and drive, you